I keep calling him Stuttering Bob. Stuttering John a few times. In fact, I was coming out of a movie one night and he was trying to talk to Raquel Welch and she was like kind of bugged out.
You saw that incident? You were there?
Yeah.
When she punched him?
Yeah. And since then, I've been kind of intrigued by the whole Howard Stern phenomenon. I wonder what that is.
So you're a fan of the show?
Yeah.
And what are you expecting today then?
I don't know. I expect to be asked some interesting questions. It's going to be different from the normal press kind of junk questions that I get.
Are you ready for that?
Yeah, man. I'm not afraid of it.
You're not nervous? You're not nervous?
I answer for pretty much anything.
Really? So you have nothing to hide?
Why? You got some pictures?
All right, Samuel L. Jackson is on a roll. He's in Shaft. It's the #1 movie of the week. It's John Shaft. He's done a lot of cool movies. And
Pulp Fiction, the best.
Pulp Fiction is the best. There he is. Look at him. He looks just like Samuel L. Jackson.
He looks like Shaft.
He looks like Shaft now. I haven't seen Shaft yet. I'm anxious to see it.
I saw it. It's great.
It is great.
I really enjoyed it, yes.
Really?
Thank you, Robin.
Absolutely. And, you know, another side of you came out in this one.
Really?
I never thought of you as a
What, was he
sexy
nude?
man.
Oh, me either.
Really?
And
Are you
all of a
sexy?
sudden he's rippling with sex appeal.
I'm not feeling it, but I guess so.
What, do you work out? I see your body is physically in good shape.
I play a lot of golf. That's it.
Is that it?
That get you in shape?
In fact, I learned that whenever you sign a movie contract, that you have stipulations that allow you to play golf at least 3 times a week. Is that true or false?
Maybe twice a week or as often as I can, but they do have to join a country club somewhere that I can go and play.
Really? And even George Lucas allowed that during the filming of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, you had plenty of time to play on the Star Wars set.
You were willing.
I have plenty of time to play this time too.
But couldn't a guy like George Lucas say, "Hey, I don't care. I'm not going to put up for this nonsense with this golf stuff"? Couldn't he have said that to you? Weren't you afraid of that? Sometimes you back down off a big guy like George Lucas.
No.
No, that's a big demand to make.
No, it's not. I mean, it's minor considering what a lot of other people want.
Really?
You've heard of other outrageous contract clauses. That's very minor. To
I
pay.
heard about this guy who wanted a whole gym built and an apartment when he did his movie.
Really? Who was that? Well, wait a second. I was living there. I was working 7 days a week.
Yeah. Right.
He had gym equipment he never even
Didn't
used.
you have that gym trailer? I mean,
No. We had an apartment.
had that when we were doing Sphere. She had a gym trailer.
Did you like Sharon Stone?
Yeah, I like Sharon.
I don't like her. I think she's a phony.
You've never met.
Yeah.
Well, she did make you walk by the garbage. That's right.
She made me walk out the garbage entrance at the Letterman show. But I didn't walk, by the way. I did not do it. I would not do it. So did you bang her when you worked with her?
No.
I
she
get
was
this.
just. I think she just met the guy she's married to.
He's odd looking, isn't he?
I guess so.
Yes, exactly. So when you know, from what I read,
Samuel says that like he would have banged her if he hadn't met that guy.
no, because he is a married man. And let me say something. You have even claimed you are sexually repressed. Is that true?
Only in the movie.
No, in general, you are sexually repressed.
In general, no.
You're not. You were talking about the movies?
Yeah.
Why?
And-
Because they don't give you love scenes and stuff?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Even in Pulp Fiction, you didn't get to bang anybody.
No, nobody.
Even in Shaft, he doesn't bang, but he
Even
talks
in
about it a
Shaft,
lot.
I talk about it and
Yeah.
it's alluded to, but
Right.
hey, there's no down and
real
dirty
love scene.
But I have done one. I just did my first actual
You did one in-
full-on buck naked.
What
really?
movie is that?
Scene. The Caveman's Valentine.
And that is a movie coming out, and you will have a love scene.
Yeah.
Do you show
I'm
your
actually a homeless guy.
Do you show your penis?
It was out. I don't know if they shot it.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't care if that was on
wouldn't mind
camera.
that.
No, man, I'm not ashamed of mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a lucky man.
I'm not a mushroom man.
I am so ashamed of mine. You are not a mushroom man.
No.
How
all
many
head-
inches are you?
All head, no stem.
Really? Good for you.
You've heard about those.
I don't even have head. I don't have anything.
Come on, you are a mushroom man.
I am such a mushroom. I'm like an acorn man. It's awful. It's awful to be small. It's so embarrassing pulling my pants up. But you've been married a long time, to like a high school sweetheart or something.
Well, we met in college. We basically say we've been married 30 years. We've been married 20 years. We lived together 10 years before we got married.
What, and you do not cheat on her?
No, man, I don't have time.
Really?
Yeah.
You are sexually repressed.
Yeah.
Yes. So with all that penis, You still are not active with it except with your wife.
Hey, man, she takes it off me when I go on location, puts
Really?
it up, and I put it on when I get back home.
Oh, she keeps it.
Yeah, you
I
know.
see.
And she has this spray, too, that's kind of like bitch away. You know, you put it on me. And
No wonder you-
kind of look at me, I turn into a troll.
No wonder you play golf.
Exactly.
Why are all the celebrities playing golf? What is this with
I
the
have
golf?
no idea why
Why do
everybody
you
else does
love
it.
golf so much?
Yeah,
What
why
is-
golf?
Well, I'm an only child, so I learned to entertain myself a long time ago, and it's a great individual sport. So
So you go out there by yourself?
sometimes I do. I actually go out there. You play. You're responsible for everything you do out there. There's nobody playing defense. There's nobody throwing a ball at you.
Right.
It's you, the elements, and that little ball. And
How long you been playing golf?
7 years now.
Are you
So-
any good?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
Now, a lot of these country clubs exclude black men from the country club. Don't you find that? So when you show up, they probably get a little angry. Or is it okay because you're a celebrity?
I think it changes.
Really?
As I show up. Yeah, well, I actually played at a country club in Mississippi during a time that killed no black people in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you use
How'd you get in?
Do you use a white caddy just to get even? That's what I would do.
In a lot of places, that's all they have.
White caddy.
Yeah, they're taking that job too.
Right, and
The white man is taking everything.
white man takes everything. So you're on a roll with this Shaft, and yet
Yet.
you hated the director, John Singleton. You got into many fights with him. You would never work with him again. Is that true or false?
That's false.
That is false. You will work with
Well,
him
why
again.
are you fighting
Probably.
with him so much?
Only because we weren't
he doesn't
fighting
know what he's
every
doing.
day. There was a whole creative kind of chaos sometimes that was kind of going on, because you had the producers who had one idea about what Shaft should be. Then you had John, who was like a 3-year-old kid when he saw it, and then you had me, who thought he could be Shaft because I was basically 20 years old when I saw it.
Right, and
So-
Shaft, would to me, it shouldn't be Superman. He's just a guy who's very, very capable.
Exactly.
Right. So these guys, when they're little, saw Shaft as Superman.
Right.
This is my guess.
Right.
And I would imagine a guy who was more mature would see it as like, hey, he was a cool guy who was up against a lot of tough situations and managed to somehow prevail.
Yeah, had some very good street smarts, was very cool, had some, macabre with the ladies.
You didn't want to make it a cartoon character, and they did.
Exactly.
Now, I haven't read anything about this, but I'm assuming that an older guy would see that in Shaft.
So how do
Yeah.
you smack them around and get them to do the right thing?
Right.
You don't. You try to be as diplomatic about it as possible in most instances. And then sometimes, things happen where you got to say, hey, man, I'm not doing that. And you say, well, let's just shoot it this way. Try it this way.
Give me an
Or you
example.
do-
In other words, the director will come to you and say, I want you to do something that
what
they don't
they
want you
ask
to
you to
do.
do.
What do they ask you to do?
Well, we had some gunfight scenes where when I finally find Toni Collette, the girl that I've been looking for the whole movie, this gunfight breaks out, and they said, hide the girl and then kill all these guys and come back and get her. I go, I've been looking for this girl the whole movie.
How am I going to hide her?
The last thing I want to do is let her go. She ran away
She
from me
keeps
for 2
running
years.
away, yeah.
Right.
So you go, I'm not letting her go. Said, yeah, but you're having a gunfight. It's okay. So I start killing people with them, and then
In fact, what do you want to impress the chick? How good you are with your gun? And
Exactly.
let her see you kill the guy.
Exactly. And then a dead guy goes down. I want to pick up his gun. They go, no, leave that there. I'm going, why? There's
Why would you leave his gun?
There's like 13 bad guys out here. I got 12 bullets. There's an extra gun right here. I'm picking this gun up, okay?
So in a sense, you're telling me you were thinking things through and they weren't.
As
Yeah.
they should.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you said these suggestions, you're then branded a pain in the ass.
Sometimes, yeah, by those guys. But that story in the Post about a crew not wanting to work with. Can you imagine the New York crew refusing to work with anybody?
Right. They're desperate to work with people.
Yeah, so I have a great relationship with the working guys on the crew.
You were not a bastard to the crews.
No, man, not at all.
No,
I mean,
you're
I
not an
like those
attitude
guys.
kind of performer.
No.
You're a good man.
I know all those guys. I talk to them. In fact, at the end of production, I actually gave all those guys like these great Shaft Kangos that everybody was wearing.
Right.
I've done 3 or 4 films here in the city with all those guys before, and I know a lot of the Teamsters. I know a lot of the grips. So it's always a pleasure for me to come back in the city.
Now, when a movie like that is #1 at the box
Is
office,
this good for you?
This is real good for you. This
Yeah,
means
it's
that
great.
you are going to be able to raise your price per film.
Yeah.
And you will be seen now as a true leading man, one who can play opposite women. You can get the girl. You will be an action hero.
Yeah.
This is big money.
They
I
won't know
think.
what to do now.
What will your asking price go up to? Will you be able to get $15 million a film?
I don't know. That's up to my agent. I may have to change agencies to get that to happen. Huh?
Really?
No.
Oh,
And people do.
You would do that. That's
Nah, I
always so
would never
wrong.
do that. No, I love my agent.
Right. And have you spoken with the director since filming has been completed?
Yeah, every time I go online, John kind of pops up on my screen.
Oh, he does.
He has me on his buddy list.
Oh, he does.
Yeah,
You're
so
on
he'll
AOL.
just- Yeah, so
I see.
He'll just pop up and stuff like, "Hey man, we're doing great." And I go, "Yeah, man, we're doing good."
Yeah, mellow out.
I have an idea for the new movie. For the
Yeah, I have an idea too. It's going to cost you $20 million.
Are you gonna do a sequel? Are you planning it?
Yeah, we hope so. The film has been successful.
So you
and
will
it's
work with him on a
continuing.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you have a piece of the action on this film?
Everybody's got a back end deal that you never see.
No, come on. You have a percentage of the gross, I would
No,
imagine.
man,
You
nobody.
what, of the
Nobody
Only
gets
about
that.
Yeah, there are a couple people that get it. You know, see Tom, Nell,
Cruise, right?
yeah.
Right. I don't understand why you're a big actor, why you don't have percentage of the gross.
Hey man, nobody gets that, but those top line $20 million.
Then why
guys.
sign for it if you're not going to get anything? Why the charade? I mean, why not get
Faking
a...
retirement?
What are you getting, percentage?
Occasionally, when you have a back end deal, if the film didn't cost, $80 million and they didn't spend $200 million on advertisement, you may see some money.
Is it a percentage of the adjusted gross?
Once everybody is broken even.
Why do actors do that of your caliber? Why don't you say, listen, I don't care what the adjusted gross is. I am taking a percentage of the gross. Are you saying that you're not strong enough to do that yet?
I'm not strong enough to do
You
that
are not?
yet. No.
Interesting. Because they're going to adjust the hell out of that
Oh
gross.
yeah, it'll never adjust out to it.
Because they're going to adjust the hell out of that
Oh
gross.
yeah, it'll never adjust out to an even.
Oh yeah, man.
It's going to be very gross.
Well, they
by the time
actually send you the printouts of how much money they spent. You've never seen one of these?
I've seen it all.
Yeah, man. They send you a thing that says, they charge you for every hotel room, and every reporter that came to the junket.
Right.
Every Coke they bought, they charge you for every cassette
So
cover,
there's never any money.
every plane ticket that anybody took
Yeah,
in the
they
name
keep
of
making
that
movies
particular movie.
and building studios.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
right. Now, you grew up very poor.
I grew up pretty middle class.
You did grow up middle class?
Yeah.
Why did you think he grew up
Because
poor?
we read notes on
No.
Samuel L. Jackson, and he didn't grow up. Your parents weren't wealthy.
No,
They were not wealthy people.
no, but I was never hungry and I was never ragged. My grandparents worked, my mom worked. They were working class people. We lived in a poor neighborhood.
When you announced that you were, you grew up in a poor neighborhood, and when you announced you were going to be an actor, they must have thought you were nuts.
Out of my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Because how many kids from a poor neighborhood, let alone a black neighborhood, are going to make it? Isn't
Well,
that
it wasn't a
true?
viable kind of career choice.
Right.
To
Not
say, I
even
want to be an
now. It's
actor.
not a viable career choice.
Well, right now it's a lot more viable than it was, in 1966.
But how many people actually really get to be actors and actresses?
A lot more now.
Not working.
So how old? Very few people get that. So how old were you when you decided to become an actor? You started in on this film. Very young.
19.
19 years old.
Yeah.
And you go to work and all that, and the pressure was so great. You had your history of drug problems and everything else. Was it because the pressure was so great
No,
on you?
man, it was because that's what everybody was doing. There was something wrong with people
He
who
really
didn't get high
liked crack.
then.
Really?
Yeah. Come on. I actually grew up in like the 60s when it was
Everybody got
sex,
high.
love, and drugs.
Yeah,
So
I did a lot of drugs.
It was all about that.
Right. How
And
did you
it was
grow up
something
in the
wrong. Everybody
60s?
who didn't was a narc.
Right.
How old is he?
Who?
51.
He grew up
51.
in the 60s.
Yeah.
51.
You're 51?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, how old did you think he was?
I thought he was much younger.
Really? Oh, you just want to go to bed with him.
Look at her.
She's on fire.
Yeah, I thought about that for a few years myself too.
Really? You would do her in a minute, right? All right, but your wife won't let you.
No.
I got a feeling your wife, you and your wife have an open relationship. That's what I think.
You think that?
Yeah.
You don't
It
know my
didn't
wife.
look open when I saw them.
Didn't look that open?
Let me tell you, she'll open somebody's head if they.
What about the Temptations, though? I mean, you must get hit on by everybody.
Sure, man, but luckily for me, I'd reached this successful thing, at a pretty mature age. So I'm not able to be, swayed in certain kind of ways. Guys.
You don't have youth to
guys-
blame it on.
Do you
No,
miss?
well, guys always think that girls are looking at them and they're, coming on to them because they're so great.
Right.
I know it's because of what I do. So I haven't lost my mind to the point. It's
So
like,
you're not
I'm
allowed
sexy.
to. So you can't have sex with anybody. You can't drink. Can you drink? Are you allowed to drink?
I don't drink anymore, but that's my choice.
That's your choice.
Yeah.
Did you think you had a drinking problem?
I did, I guess. Yeah.
Really? And you're not allowed to do any coke?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
So you don't have sex.
Those
You
days
can't
are gone.
drink. No coke.
I play golf.
Can you get smoke some weed at least?
No, man. I don't
Nothing.
do anything.
Nothing.
I don't do anything.
I hope you like golf.
I'm not as boring as it sounds.
I don't know. I just don't know what you're doing. Who are your friends? Who are your fancy friends? You must have some really high-profile friends. You said like Sharon
You know,
Stone.
as I was thinking about it, I said, you never hear about him hanging out with anybody.
I don't.
Right.
I'm boring. I stay at home. When I'm in LA, I'm at home. I guess since I've been in Philadelphia, there have been reports of me being in strip clubs in Philly.
Right.
Really?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You go to strip clubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, man.
When you're married,
listen to
you.
who's talking.
When you're married,
This is
you.
a successful marriage. Of
When you're
That's
married.
who's there. That's nothing but a whole bunch of married guys.
You know what? I got to tell you, since
You
I'm not
don't
married,
know it.
I don't go anymore.
You
Go
don't
figure
have
that
to.
out.
You get your own show.
No. I don't have any show. I have nothing going on. But let me tell you this. You were a wild man. In college, you were a protester. I don't know what you were protesting at the time. But you were expelled
Yeah.
for taking the trustees of the college hostage.
I remember
Yeah.
reading about that.
And one of the trustees was Martin Luther King Sr., the father of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah. We let him go though, because he claimed he was sick.
Are you kidding?
Well, we let him go after about 6-7 hours. We put him
you
on a
weren't
ladder
really-
and sent
you're
him down the
radical.
door.
You weren't really acting in Pulp Fiction. You were the real guy. I mean, that's. Why were you protesting? You were protesting the Black Studies program?
Well, there were no black studies in particular at that school. There was no black representation that could vote on the board of
Right,
trustees. There
right.
was no student representation, and there was no community representation. We sat in the middle of this very poor community, and we weren't involved in it at all.
Right.
The guys from the projects used to beat up the students from my school all the time. In fact, when I first went to school there, I hung out with those guys in those projects, and they didn't even know I went to college.
So you were angry about that because I grew up in a black community, and a lot of the guys were screaming and yelling that there was no soul food in the cafeteria, no black
Well, I don't
studies,
think he wanted soul food.
no black studies program.
Oh yeah, you did want some.
And what's funny about it was, so
did.
finally we got the Black Studies program and soul food. The soul food lasted 2 days because everybody started complaining and wanted pizza again.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Black Studies program, and the only people who signed up were whiteys like me. Because I figured I wouldn't get my ass kicked that much if I took the Black Studies program. But yet you fought for it and you lost your college
Education.
You lost your college education.
Well, I lost it for a year and a half.
Oh, and they put you back.
Yeah, they finally let me come back to school. My name's on a statue on campus now.
Really?
Yeah.
And you graduated?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I have a
even after
degree.
being expelled?
Yep, I have a degree in theater.
All right, explain something to me about movie making.
Okay.
All right. It was said that during the filming of The Negotiator, you had to hang out a window 22 stories high and you freaked out. It was a tough thing to do.
No, I didn't freak out.
You didn't.
No, I
You
was
liked it.
bolted to the floor.
You were.
Yeah.
So in other words, but you really are hanging out the window.
Yeah.
See, I never thought a guy like you would hang out the window. I wouldn't hang out a window. I
And my
mean,
wife
long
didn't
as they
either. She happened to show up on set that night. She was pretty upset that I was doing that.
you mean you literally hung out a window?
Yeah, yeah.
You mean there's no way they could do that with trickery? They can't do it
I
with a
guess
green
they could have
screen?
CGI'd it and
That's
done
what I
all that.
mean.
But, why do that when you can do it?
I wouldn't do it. I thought it was all computers. You mean you literally hung out a window?
Yeah.
And you
Well,
looked
hanging
out.
out a
Tom Cruise
window's
was hanging
not
on a
such a
damn
big
Hold
cliff
it
in
a
Australia.
second. And you hung out and you could look down and see 22 stories below.
Yeah. I had a harness on. There's a wire attached, screwed
Oh.
into this harness. It's a huge, one of those gauge wires that they hang cranes by and stuff.
I would
It's
throw up.
bolted into a floor. And you're standing there in that window, and the helicopter was right there with the guys with the guns. It was very cool.
Did you? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I live high up in an apartment building, and I can't even look out the window.
To the edge of his apartment.
I hate looking out the edge. I could not picture. I don't care what they harness my ass into. I would be very, very scared.
But I like roller coasters and things.
You do.
Don't you like those?
No.
No.
Oh, yeah, see, I love roller
No, I
coasters.
puke on
like
those.
that shot in The Long Kiss Goodnight when Gina and I jump out that window.
That's a great
We did
I
that.
remember that.
You did that for real?
Yeah, but they had harnesses on us with wires, and they release you, and you fall really fast, and they stop them, just like on the parachute ride.
I don't like a double-decker bus, let alone a parachute ride. Now, you've been in all the Spike Lee movies practically, and yet you're
all of
well,
them.
at least 5 of them.
Just 5 or 4.
4 or 5. I don't know.
yeah.
But you're very critical of him. You don't get along with him
really.
anymore. You
No,
don't
we
like
get
him
along
anymore.
fine.
You do.
Yeah.
Why is all this rap about you not getting along with anyone?
Well, that was one of these things where when
Jackie Brown, because you objected to the word nigger being used so much.
right.
Jackie Brown was not a Spike Lee film.
No, but
Spike Lee.
Spike said his wife was offended by the movie, so
Right.
he wrote this thing about Quentin using nigga too much.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And and then there's that other thing about Denzel getting in Quentin's face about it. But for as many times as Quentin wrote it, I probably added it 2 or 3 times.
Well, that's
Right.
I remember you saying that during the film that this was this guy.
Yeah,
and this
but
is
it's
how
like,
he would talk.
Yeah, it's like we don't even know people that talk like that.
Right.
In fact, Spike said, "Yeah, I use the word at home, but I don't want to see it on the screen." So it's like,
Please,
That's silly.
nigga, please.
yeah, right.
When are you going to start work on the new Star Wars movie? A lot of people are
July
anxious.
6th,
July 6th. That soon.
Yeah.
And where will you shoot that? In England?
Australia.
Now,
Australia.
have they
Sydney.
written it this time? Is there a story?
You got to admit. I
story
want you to.
last time, I guess.
No. You want to honestly admit that you were not pleased with the last Star Wars movie. Jar Jar Binks was a big mistake.
If you ask any 7 to 10-year-old kid who their favorite character in that movie was, they'll tell you it's Jar Jar Binks.
You didn't think it was lacking story? I mean, I can't even remember. I saw the movie. I can't even remember what it was about. I thought there was so little story. Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of Star Wars, and yet there was a major disappointment there. Have you read the script for the new Star Wars?
No, I have not.
You have not.
You trust them.
But you're a major player in the next
I
movie.
didn't read the script for the first one. I got there.
Well, you didn't
George
have
gave
to. They
me-
didn't
George-
give you a lot to
George
do.
gave me like 4 pages.
That was it.
I never saw any.
You trusted him enough. Normally, you would look at a whole script before you'd appear in something, but you said, "Hey, this is Star Wars."
No, I asked him to be in the movie.
Right.
It
You
was a
requested.
whole
So you
different
didn't
thing. Yeah, I actually put that out there, and he called me and invited me to the ranch, and I went
The
up there and
ranch?
met him. Yeah, and I actually told him I'd be a stormtrooper, man. I didn't care.
What goes on at that ranch?
A lot of business.
A lot of business.
A lot of stuff's going on there.
Man, the poontang you could be getting, bringing those girls to the ranch,
To the
man, it's
ranch,
got to be
yeah.
killing you. Oh, man, it's got to be killing you.
Or him.
And you will not use the N-word in the Star Wars movie, I hope.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. That's
Doesn't exist in that one.
yeah, right. What world is that? And was Liam Neeson awake at any time during the filming of Star Wars? I mean, really. But no, you are the major player in the new Star Wars. I mean, you don't have 4 pages this time. You're going to have a lot of pages.
Well, I have more stuff to do, and I just found out at the MTV Awards the other week that I actually have a major battle scene in this movie.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I get to pull my lightsaber. It's gonna be-
No kid. Oh, that's going to be great. Do you have sex in this film?
I don't think so.
They should make a dirty Star Wars. Like an R-rated Star Wars.
That haven't been done?
No. Ron, you're on the air.
Hi, Sam Jackson. I have a question for you.
Yeah, man.
I heard that you and your daughter are big Buffy the Vampire Slayer fans.
Yeah.
And
But
that
is-
wherever you are, you have to watch it with her.
If we're together, we'll catch it.
I love that show. That is my favorite show on television.
Really?
It is so well written.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
stop it. 90210 was your favorite.
Well, no, I stopped watching it the last season.
I thought he watched Hoes in the City.
Are you gonna? I do watch Sex in the City. Do you think am I lying? When I was one of the first people, I watched it from the day one. Buffy
yeah,
the
but it's not
Vampire
your
Slayer.
favorite show.
Top 3.
He
Top
probably
3.
switched over to Angel.
Do you watch Angel?
No, man.
You don't like Angel?
I don't
Angel's
know when
good.
it comes on.
It comes on right after.
Oh, well, see, I'm like,
But you like Buffy the Vampire
Yeah,
Slayer.
man, like it.
Yeah,
It's a
very
good
good.
show.
What is it, Baba Boohai?
I wanted to ask Samuel a question because I was reading something in the notes and I want to know if it was true.
Okay.
Do you have a hole in your nose?
yeah.
From cocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he did so much that, he had a hole in his nose, and I guess I read that you keep it to remind you not to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You won't get it fixed.
Well, Gary used to get so
Not
many
affecting me.
nosebleeds.
I mean, every now and then when I'm going to sleep, I can hear that whistle and it bugs me for a while.
I mean, you have an extra hole in your nose?
It just goes straight across.
Where you just
He said he could pass a match through it, Howard.
I don't understand that. Is that from snorting coke?
Yeah.
That blew a hole out in your septum?
It just ate it. Yeah,
It really ate it through.
all that bad cut. If I pay $5 more for it,
You were really
stuff they put in the cocaine.
You had bad coke. You used to have a lot of problems with your nose from coke.
Yeah, but you know what the cool thing about him is, though?
Yeah.
After he got the hole in his nose, most people would stop, and he just went to smoking for a while.
Right. Smart.
Really gave it time to heal.
Way to go. Well, didn't you have an acting teacher who said to you, look, if you're going to do coke, take it to the extreme.
no,
that you should take it.
he said if you're going to act, you have to learn to do it while
Right.
you're under the influence, like all the great ones did.
Really?
Yeah.
If you're going to do.
That's some acting coach.
So
we
he
used
knew
to
you
drink with
were
him in the
on.
morning at 7:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew what he was talking about.
Hey, he was all over it. No, he's
Introducing League of Legends. What is League of Legends? And then why do I play it so much? League is probably the most popular game in the world right now, competitively and casually. The mode most people are familiar with takes place on one map, called Summoner's Rift. So there are 2 teams, each team has 4 summoners. Members has champions. League has a bunch of different champions. Very key honestly, it can get kind of overwhelming to try and learn them all. Most people have a handful of champions that they name, but there are some players who are good at every single one of them. Anyway, in the game, your goal is to blow up the enemy's base. Along the way, there are plenty of obstacles and objectives that can easily turn the game around. Although the typical laning phase has 1 person at the top, 1 mid, 2 at the bottom, and 1 in the middle, this isn't always the norm. Depending on how you like to play, there's a position and champion that can suit your playstyle. For example, if you like to stay in the backline and avoid getting hurt like me, you might like mage champions with a lot of distance, like Bucks. If you like to be aggressive and stay in the front, you might like tanky champions like Brandis. Although there are normal laning positions, when it comes to casual play, the possibilities are up to you. For me, it's super fun getting all my friends into voice chat and then playing with them, but if you're a lot more competitive, you might like ranked mode and try to climb the ladder. I gave up on that. Part of what makes me so exciting is that the game is always changing and never stagnant. It's very dynamic, whether it's a new game mode, new items, or new champions coming out. Anyway, it's hard to explain everything in one video because League is actually very complex and has a lot of intricate parts to the game that you can only learn by experience.
Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? If you seem familiar, some little hard. Oh, well, that's good. Were we supposed to fight? I certainly don't feel violent, but, well... Really? After all... Do you? You seem fine. And does it even want to go back with you? Tell you what, I'll leave... No.
Yeah.
He knew what he was talking about.
Hey, he was all over. No, he's gone.
He's gone now. He no longer exists. Michael, you're on the air with Samuel L. Jackson, star of the movie Shaft.
It's funny. When I was walking down the hall and thinking about this, we saw Samuel at a screening of a movie once.
Yes.
And we said, Sam, you ought to do the show. He goes, I'm not famous enough.
He said, I'm not large enough yet.
Yeah.
So now you are again.
Now you're large enough. Yeah, there you go. Michael, go ahead.
Hey, how you doing?
I would say your asking price now is about what, $5 million? I thought more. $8 million? 10. 8. 7 or 8 million. Shaft, you got 7 or 8 million? Nice, money.
Yeah, it's not bad.
What are you doing with all this money?
My wife's bought a new house.
Too bad you're not into coke now, man. You could really, you wouldn't be running. You wouldn't even have a nose. That'd be gone. Yeah, you're boring now. 7 or 8, you got to get a good mama. You really do. Your wife just bought a house. Where are you living now? In New York?
No, we live in L.A.
In L.A.
Yeah.
What do you got? A Malibu estate or something?
Oh, man, we live in the valley in a modest little place that was in Architectural Digest last.
Really?
I thought I saw your house.
Yeah, but now she's moving. She wants to move. So
will your wife go with you to Australia, or will you go alone?
I'm going to Australia alone.
Oh.
No, my daughter's going with me. Actually.
Oh, she is.
And my daughter and one of her friends.
There's always somebody
Give her
watching
something
you.
to do before she goes to college.
Always somebody watching you. Go ahead. You're on the air, Michael.
Yeah, I just want to talk to Mr. Jackson. I'm a diehard golfer, too.
Cool.
Want to see if I can get a game together with him.
I want to golf.
Yeah.
Well, what country club do you belong to?
Actually, I don't.
There you go.
There you go.
I don't do public anymore. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you're way past that.
I'm just kidding. I actually play a lot of public courses.
Chris, go ahead. You're on the air. You will.
Ask Mr. Jackson, what was in the suitcase in Pulp Fiction? I've been always dying to figure that one out.
3 lights and 5 heavy-ass batteries.
Was it Marcellus Wallace's soul?
3 lights and 5 heavy-ass batteries.
I always thought it was I thought it was always your, your rider in your contract asking for the golf course.
Exactly.
That's it.
I never knew. People always ask me that. Only.
I would never thought about it.
Yeah, only 3 people might have the answer to that. Quentin's
you
one
know
of
what I
them. John
thought?
Travolta's another. I never looked in the briefcase. John did, and Tim Roth did. I never did.
I thought because Travolta was in it, it was Scientology books.
Might have been.
On the set, you're not a
Dianetic.
Scientologist, are you?
Probably the script to Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, right. Have you seen that? Are you are you friends with John Travolta still?
Yeah, man.
You are?
Yeah.
Do you laugh at his Scientology? I mean, it is silly, isn't
we've
it?
never even talked about it.
He never
He was too
proselytized.
embarrassed to
No.
bring it up to me.
We've never spoken about it. He never brings it up. I never brought it up.
Yeah,
Just one of those things.
right. Oop, sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off. I thought it was done. What do I know? Okay, Rachel, go ahead. You're on the air with Samuel L. Jackson. A rare opportunity to talk to the star of Shaft, which is in theaters
Can I
now.
tell you that I love you and I'm a big fan?
Thank you, Rachel.
Well, first that was for Howard.
Oh,
Duh.
Well, he thanks you for how.
Deflect.
thank you. Go ahead.
And one quick question though for Sam. I was in an argument with my friend. Were you on Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Nope.
No, that
That's
was Lawrence
Fishburne.
You
That
get
other guy that
confused.
people
All
think I
black
am.
people.
You get
look
confused
alike.
with Lawrence
That's
Fishburne.
not true because it was we were both stumped and I thought it was you. I had
Does that bother you that Lawrence Fishburne gets the two of you? Is that the old stereotype? Black people all look the same.
I don't know. I guess it could be, but Lawrence and I have actually been standing side by side, and people talk to him about Pulp Fiction and talk to me about
Is
Bobby
that
Fischer.
right?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so
they don't
strange.
know.
I mean, that's really, really weird. Don't you think?
Yeah.
The world.
I think
Back
so.
when Danny was doing that cab thing, people thought I was Danny. We're gonna get those cab drivers. It's not me.
That's right.
Not Danny Glover.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Glover's 100 years old. Now, what about? I was reading about the story of your life, and one of the most fascinating things is you were down in the subway. You were. This, I don't know how many years ago this was. 4?
19. When I got dragged by the train?
Yeah.
1980.
You were 1980. Okay,
No,
so why-
1990.
1990, not
Yeah.
that long ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago.
You were known at that point. I mean, you were a working actor and all that. And you went into the subway. Your leg got caught in the door.
Right.
And the door's supposed to open if that happens.
Well, it was only my ankle, and it was caught. Well, those large rubber things register closed when something as small as an ankle.
So was most of your body in the train, or was it mostly
I was on
outside
the
the train?
platform.
You were on the platform, so your
Yeah.
ankle got caught in
My
there.
ankle was caught in the door. People were trying to take my shoe off and pulling on the doors.
And it wouldn't. I mean, it's that tight that it wouldn't release, and the train began to move and dragged you.
Dragged me, yeah, linked to the platform.
And then how did it stop? Did somebody inform?
Somebody pulled the emergency cord. I was a car and a half from the tunnel. I was in the last car, middle door of the last car, and I was a car and a half from the tunnel by the time it stopped.
And thank God for somebody pulling the cord and using their brains, or else you would have been dead.
Exactly. And I didn't find out until 3 years later when we finally got to court that the reason it took so long was the guy who pulled the emergency cord was on crutches.
Really?
Yeah.
From a subway accident.
Well, actually, I was one of 22 people dragged that year when my lawyer did the research. I was one of 22 people dragged. 2 of them died, but it's a pretty common occurrence.
Now, I would have thought you would have received millions for this, but you received $400,000. That was the settlement.
Yeah, something.
Were you expecting millions?
Of course.
Yeah. Why only $400,000? I mean, because you were that badly injured?
Well, by that, yeah, well, I had to have my right knee totally reconstructed.
Oh, you did? So you had a pretty bad injury.
Oh,
out of
yeah, I
it.
was jacked.
Were you embarrassed? And was it an embarrassing situation when something like that happens to you?
No.
I would
Be embarrassed.
I don't want anybody to see that happen to me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
But by the time we got to court, I had started to do some larger films, and
The jury didn't feel bad for you, is that what you're saying?
That's exactly
the jury felt bad enough
Yeah, but
that
not
they gave us $400,000, but they didn't feel bad enough to award me millions because this guy was presenting me like, so, Mr. Jackson, you have a house uptown, right? Yes, I do. And you have a big house in California, don't you?
Yeah, what's that got to do with it?
Like,
Yeah, but I got
yeah, what's your
dragged.
point?
Right.
So, since you've been dragged, you've become a big movie star, haven't you?
I always said you made a mistake.
Is that a prerequisite?
Yeah, it probably helped your career.
That's
Exactly.
right.
No, you should have spilled coffee all over yourself. That's $11 million. All right, let's go to JD. We're running out of time, so let's get some questions in quickly to Samuel L. Jackson.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Sammy, you are the man.
Thank you.
I had 2 requests. One being your overall opinion on white women.
White women. You haven't had any opportunity to get the white women, have you? Although before you got married.
Been on lockdown, man.
He's been on lockdown.
And 2, you think maybe we could get, you could do a little bit of that Ezekiel 7:14?
What?
714, that's the wrong number.
Yeah, what do you... Get out of here. Wasting my time.
Ezekiel 7:14.
Paul, go ahead. A question. Samuel L. Jackson. Have you seen him in Shaft yet?
Not yet.
All right.
Oh,
Robin says it's a good movie.
Big fan.
Yeah,
big
you'll have
fan,
fun.
Hey, go ahead. What's your question?
My question is, Samuel L. Jackson, you play golf and all that. Do you think OJ's guilty?
OJ. Guilty, not guilty?
I don't know, man.
You don't know. You don't know. I know.
wasn't there.
I wasn't there either, but I know.
Loaded.
Yeah, loaded question. That's a tough question to answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you're a black man, especially an actor, high profile, if you say that OJ is guilty, you're considered a sellout.
Not
and
really.
if you say yes, of course.
Why?
Because it's a thing. It's a thing. Am I right, Robin? Or am I wrong?
I don't know that Samuel L. Jackson is affected by that.
No,
Yeah, me either.
you're not.
No. I've asked people.
Is there really any doubt that
Who'd you
OJ?
ask?
Star Jones.
Star Jones. She's too busy eating.
No,
She
come
know.
on. No, I
All right,
asked Star.
finally, Eddie, you're on the air with Samuel L. Jackson, the star of the movie Shaft.
Hey, Sam. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah,
Hey,
go
man.
ahead.
Good morning, Sam. This is Eddie.
Hey, man.
How you doing, baby? Listen, I just wanted to tell you guys, everybody who's listening, what Sam says is definitely true. I worked on Shaft, and it was one of the roughest jobs I ever did. But I gotta say, the gentleman was gracious. He was forthcoming.
You worked on Shaft, and you're saying that because it's
He's
hard
a
to
good
understand you, that Samuel L. Jackson was a good guy.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And he always has been.
All right, good. Thank you, Eddie. Well, there you go. Somebody supporting your theory that all of these tabloid reports are nonsense.
It just, well, you know, somebody told me that was a long time that I've been doing this business. Never saw my name in the tabloid.
Right.
All of a sudden, it's like you apparently are going to be a big star now.
Right.
Now you.
Because you're in the tabloid.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so what?
And they're only going to say bad stuff. You
Is
know
that right?
Yeah, of course.
What else you gonna write?
Yeah, they're not gonna write you're a good guy.
Nobody wants to read that.
Right.
Is that why I never see your name in the tabloid?
That's right.
Ah.
I've been seeing mine here and there. Never any good.
They've been after you for a while.
They've been after me.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, listen, I'm happy for you. I really am that Shaft is doing so well. What are the predictions? What's coming out this week? Is there going to be any competition?
Me, myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
We got
What-
Jim Carrey.
You
And we
feeling
got,
nervous about that?
No, man. We got Jim Carrey and we got Chicken Run.
Chicken Run, yeah, that
Yeah.
got good reviews.
Chicken Run could be scary.
What about Me, Myself, Irene? What is the advance word on that? That it is no good or good?
Jim Carrey's back to his slapstick style. Should be good. And the Farrelly brothers, you know, we like them.
You do.
They do good comedy.
But you're the only action film around.
Yeah.
So you should do very well this
Of
weekend,
course,
I think.
yeah. There's enough room for us all.
Yeah. We can all get along.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Samuel L. Jackson stars in the movie Shaft. Go check it out. And also in the upcoming Star Wars movie, where he really gets to do some cool stuff.
Well, let's hope.
How many months are you going to be in Australia on that one?
2, and then I go back in March to London to do some other stuff.
That's exciting.
I'm
Well,
looking
it is
forward to
exciting
Maybe
flying
a-
all over the world and getting to work. And
Yeah. I'd like to do what you do. I hate sitting here.
Oh, yeah,
Wish I could
right.
play some golf.
Yeah.
I hate sitting here. I should be out in
You
Australia.
only do movies when you feel like it.
I'm going to go do a movie myself. I'm going to...
just to get away.
just to get away. I want to go to Australia. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate
Oh,
it.
thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
We'll be back right after these words.
That didn't hurt so much.
You had a good
Why's
time?
your light on and his light not? I had a great time.
You should come back again, really, when you're promoting it. You should definitely come back. We'd love to have you.
Thank you.
Being on the show.
You there. Life is meaningless and death approaches, so come play video games. What's that? Who am I? Why, I'm Nevercake, YouTuber extraordinaire, and I'm here to tell you about League of Legends. Just look at all its diverse content. With over 100 champions to choose from, there's a perfect fit for everyone. Pick a character that interests you. Strength, magic, other reasons. Now that you've picked a character that adequately expresses yourself, it's time to find a role that suits your playstyle. Like to go it alone? Perfect. Enjoy hunting monsters? Great. Want to stick with a buddy and blame him for your mistakes? It's like you're already a pro. Of course, League of Legends is a team game, so if you had friends, it'd be even more fun. But don't worry, you can always play with bots, and they won't judge you when you die to minions. Once the game starts, you better buckle up, cowboy, because things about to get rowdy. Just look. Quality gameplay. And there's strategy too. You gotta buy items to get stronger. Why use one sword when you can use all the swords? But strategizing can be difficult, so don't. Just spam your abilities instead. I'm sure everything will work out. So, what are you waiting for? Hop on into some League of Legends today. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Contribute to society? Yeah, didn't think so.
And Marty's riding Sibian.
Now we heard that you're big fans of the show. Who's the big fan?
I don't know. She's the only one who knows me, Sibian.
Now this is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel? You're nervous, excited?
I'm excited, but I want him to like us because I know, he's made fun of us in the past. So, and I've always been a fan of his, so I'm trying to win him over.
Now, what do you think Howard's going to want to talk to you girls about?
Anybody's guess. You never know, you can't. Especially your first time.
Well, welcome Dixie Chicks to the show. How are you? Good to see you guys.
You too.
And by the way, everybody looking really good. Like totally whipped into shape.
Yeah.
Downright glamorous.
Yeah, when they were on 60 Minutes, they said they'd all been away having babies. Well, you look good, girl.
Yeah.
Thank you. It took a while, but thanks.
Yeah. By the way, you guys have the largest entourage of any guest we've ever had.
embarrassed about half of them at the hotel.
We counted at least 37 people. It's pretty impressive.
Congratulations, that's a record.
I should mention that the Dixie Chicks have sold over 30 million albums, which is no small accomplishment. That's pretty cool. Wow. Yeah, that's really good. When you sell 30 million albums and you guys do a lot of touring and stuff, you guys are each worth, I'm going to peg you at about what?
Not as much as you think, but go ahead.
You guys are multi-millionaires, right?
Yeah, but not like we should be. Not like I would be if I was solo. Just kidding.
Right. Does everybody equally write the songs? I mean, do you have to split the publishing and everything?
Yeah, we all write songs, but even before that, no matter who wrote the song, part of the publishing is shared if we record it.
How come it's so noisy in here? Is that all the equipment and everything? You want some water?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. It's very, very intense in here.
A lot of mics open.
A lot of mics open. I don't even know where they are. I can't even begin to tell you. But I'm glad you're here. So when you write the songs and you guys got together, and you must have gotten together real young because you guys are young. This happened to you fast. I mean, you didn't have to spend a lot of time on the road for years trying to.
No. I was 16 when the band started. Marty was 19, and that was we started in '89. I was in high school.
And did your parents start to think that you guys were losers because you're going into the music business? Was it just
They were just glad we had a job. In the summer.
And was the arrangement made then that we'd always split everything equally?
Well, I wasn't in the band when I joined in '95.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, Natalie wasn't there.
No, I would have been like 11. But,
Anybody feel that they're doing more than the other two?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the oldest should get paid the most.
Yeah.
Wait, so if one of you wrote a song, as long as you all recorded it, you shared the publishing?
Right, we don't share the writing. To me, that's what keeps a band together, because it's the whole band that... And they had that rule before I joined the band.
Roger Daltrey probably wishes Pete Townsend had that rule.
Yeah, he didn't go for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an equal split.
But there's some bands who share the writing and the publishing, and just one person wrote it.
Really?
Now that, I could see would break up.
I was talking to Adam Duritz of the Counting Crows. He writes all the songs, and he goes through all the angst of writing these things and coming up with them. And he splits it equally with his band, and there's like 5 guys in it.
Yeah.
Even the publishing.
I think that would create tension.
He splits the writing too?
Everything.
Wow.
I said, you're an asshole. I was being quite frank with him.
He needs his own manager separate from the band.
Yeah, because Clarence Clemens ain't got the publishing to Born in the USA.
Do you guys all? You guys don't have separate managers, do you?
No.
When it comes down to that, you know it's almost over. So now that you're married and you all have families and stuff, touring is a pain in the ass, right? I mean, it's almost like you just want to sit home. It's
Or do
really-
you pack up everything and take the whole house, kitchen, boodle, everything on the road?
All 7 kids will go. This is the first tour we've done with all 7 kids. There was just 2 kids on the list.
I would hate to be a female, like either rock star or country star or any of that.
Why?
Because for a guy, it's great. You go out on the road and you get laid.
You're
That's
hanging
what
out
it's
with the
about.
boys.
And even if you're married, you go out and get laid. I mean, that's just the way it goes down. And I mean, you guys are like all into committed relationships. There's no
That
reason for
doesn't
you
mean we don't get laid.
Yeah, but I
Being
mean,
parents means we don't get
you
laid.
can get laid going home.
But we watch the nannies get laid, and that's fun. We
Is
don't
that what
really
happens?
watch, but we wait for some kind of thing to happen on the road that's really juicy.
Did you hire a hot nanny?
There are some hot nannies amongst us, and we always talk about who's going to be the first to get some.
Howard, there's a
would a
blonde
woman-
in the dressing room that's insane.
Why would a woman in her right mind hire a hot nanny? I mean, your husband's going to have temptation. Why would you
Look
do
what happened with that Jude Law situation.
Yeah, exactly. And Jude Law is with like the hottest chick on the planet. I mean, to me, I'm like, wow, he'd never cheat on her, but I probably would. I mean, he did it. Why would you hire the hot nanny?
I think if they're going to screw around on you, they're going to screw around on you. Doesn't matter if it's a nanny or whoever. If they're not, they're not.
You're putting them alone in the house constantly. She's walking around in bathing suits. I just don't understand. Women don't get
Around
it.
in bathing suits.
Well, they do, right? You have
They're
a
playing
pool.
with the kids by the pool and that sort of thing?
Where do you live?
I live in Texas.
All right, so it's hot there, right? You got a pool.
Oh, yeah.
And the nanny doesn't slip into a little swimsuit every once in a while?
I haven't had this nanny since the season has been applicable.
I just think that's flirting with disaster. I honestly do.
But, you know, the other thing you have to wonder about is who do they marry? Because they're very successful. They're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Don't you have to worry about what the guy's after?
Yeah, who wants to be Mr. Dixie Chick?
Me?
Although I'd marry all 3 of you. I'd marry any one of you.
My husband works and he does not want to be.
What's your husband do?
He's an
He's
actor.
an actor.
Hey, Howard.
Good-looking actor.
I'm actually a fan of her husband. He was in a great vampire movie
Yeah, Near Dark.
called Near Dark. Yeah.
Adrian Pastor. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
Good looking dude, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he is good looking. But I was married before, and yeah, it was it. For me, it has to be equal. The person has to have their own thing going on.
What about you, Mark? What's your husband do?
I married someone who didn't know who we were because he's from Ireland, so that's perfect.
Yoko tried saying that, too. But these guys all make about a 19th of your salary. I mean, you guys are
They
wearing
have
the
to be
pants.
very secure, yeah.
What's your husband do?
He's a musician.
Well, I suppose I
Oh,
do
yeah,
get
that's
those
right.
endorphin rushes when we save the day.
He's not a drummer, is he?
All right.
No, he's a singer-songwriter. He's very successful. in his own
Oh, he
right.
is?
Yeah, yeah.
Country dude?
Yeah, kind of more Texas songwriter.
I mean, unless your husband's name is Bono, I don't see that being an easy thing. I mean, he's got to be
He
envious.
would not. He would never want to be where we are.
He's not envious of your success.
He likes his level of success. There's a lot of things that go along with it he doesn't want.
I think it'd be great to be married to a Dixie chick. A, you got on the road, I can get some time to myself, and also you're paying my bills. I like
Well,
it.
you would be like Kevin Federline.
Me? I'd be the biggest leech on the planet. I'd be like, baby, why should I work?
Well, none of us are married to Kevin Federline.
No.
Yeah, like, honey, can you finance my rap album?
Has your husband ever said to you, can you finance my rap album?
No.
But how does it, your husband's an actor. He's clearly not as successful as you. I mean, you make more money than your husband, right?
Yes, we're hoping for that turnaround. He has a new show this season, and it would be awesome if.
But do you pay for the house?
So far, he keeps a tally. He's very into...
Tally schmally.
Well,
I'm saying, how does
I
it
promise
work?
you he'll pay for it.
Prenup?
Yes.
Of course.
But, and that's what I always, whenever somebody's on here talking about how,
They don't have a prenup.
yeah, because I love them and it's not about money. To me, the number one reason for divorce is arguing about money. When you have a prenup, you take that out of it. It's the opposite. It makes it about the love and not about the money.
The way the other two girls are looking at you, I don't think they have
They
prenups.
have prenups too.
I have a prenup.
You have a prenup?
Yep.
Smart girls.
Is that an uncomfortable conversation when your husband says, "Will you marry me?" and you say, "Yeah, but I need a prenup"?
My husband had
offered.
He did.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, I like what I.
Mine didn't.
That became a difficult conversation.
Was it really uncomfortable?
He claimed he didn't know what one was. He's from Ireland.
How do you approach that subject?
Saints be to Jesus,
The
what's a
business
prenup?
manager.
What do you do?
I just sick the business manager on him.
Is that what it was? And does he come to you and go, "What the hell is going?" Whatever.
You just say, Natalie and Emily's husbands did it.
And you guys ever cheat on your husband?
No.
You will. Something will happen. You'll see. Something's gonna go down.
We travel with
I
our
would get a
children.
divorce
Tell me
before I
when
get
we would have an opportunity.
See, that's the worst part.
And
about
when
it.
do the husbands come and visit you on the road?
Yeah.
If you turn to page 4 of the prenup, it'll say where I can cheat on you like crazy.
So, what about the backup musicians here? All men. You guys never hit on these chicks? Dude, you couldn't make that happen?
No.
You're crazy.
My wife's the hot blonde in the dressing room.
Is she real?
Oh, is she
Howard,
really?
you got to see this broad. Oh,
No kidding.
Yeah, she's hot.
How'd you get her?
I just loved her. Still love her.
Think about these guys. They probably get residual road pussy, you know? Like,
You mean you didn't even have to stalk her? You were able to just get her on your own?
Excuse me, what?
You didn't even have to stalk your wife? You were able
No.
to just get her on your own?
Well, I stalked her, yeah.
That's an impressive story. So what? I
It
mean,
is pretty funny. The last tour we had we were in the round, so we had these pits, and our crowds were mainly young girls, and so as
Are
we're
they?
traveling around on the outside stages, the band's in the middle with these screaming girls doing these obscene things, and they're all married guys last year, and just these obscene things, and we would hear about it later. Oh my God, I didn't think our fans were capable of doing that gesture.
yeah, you boys banging any of the fans, the Dixie Chick fans? Anybody here single? What's going on?
No, I'm married.
Oh, you're all married. Oh, how boring this is. It's terrible. Nobody's taking advantage of them. No, hasn't banged anybody. So how hard is it to pick a name for a group? Dixie Chicks. If you had to do it all over again, would you change
It's the
it?
stupidest name in the world.
Who
yes.
came up with it?
I think I did. We were the Dixie Chickens, which is even dumber.
Right. Dixie Chicks. I could think of such.
It came from the Little Feat song. We were on the way to play our first gig, and that song came on, and we were girls.
And you're still catching crap for the. I mean, you guys turned. I was even giving you crap at the time, and now I'm like, I hate this Iraq war.
In fact, you should all be able to kick us because we're on your side now.
You
We
should,
gave
if you
a
want
hard
to kick
time.
me in the ass, you go right
What
ahead.
were you saying? Why were you
It was
against?
personal stuff.
I was-
It got personal.
Did it really? What I say?
See,
Who even knows?
Natalie knows everything.
Natalie really listens to the show.
Yeah, even more now that's on satellite.
Isn't it great on
Because I get
satellite?
to hear it. I get to hear the whole show throughout the day.
Right, we
'Cause I know
replay it
I
all
don't
day.
have 3 or 4 hours to sit there and listen to the whole.
Right. Yeah. But
So I think it's awesome.
Thank you. I'm having a great time doing it. But
What did he say that was personal? How personal did he get?
yeah.
We talked about the way we looked.
And by the way, you guys do look good. I take it all back. I mean, honestly,
Not
I
that
really.
any of it wasn't true.
I'm eating a lot of crow. All right, so you put on a few
Greetings,
pounds. It's
citizen.
possible. You guys had kids and stuff, and that's what happens.
Exactly.
But
It's
you do all
usually-
look good.
But are you sorry now?
I am sorry about what I said. I'll tell
They
you the
took a
truth.
very bold and brave stand.
You guys were
Yeah, they took a
absolutely
lot of
right.
crap.
Iraq is the wrong place for us to be. The president has completely blown it with this war.
Yeah.
Afghanistan was something we had to do. We're going after Osama bin Laden. What does Iraq have to do with anything? With terrorism?
bottom
And
light
nothing. And in fact,
returns.
we need Saddam Hussein back in there to run
The
that
bottom
country. It's completely
Dr.
insane.
Moby's
You were
been
right. But it doesn't
denominated
matter.
into
The country
scrap
fans are still
metal and
giving you
voice
shit, right?
module parts
Well, I
as
think
we
the
hope.
hardcore country radio fans. I think
Right.
we still, that is not who we saw in our concerts.
Yeah, but can I tell you something? 70 or 80% of the country agrees with you.
Yeah.
And still these people will get, I've even read from people, Dixie Chick fans go, I don't care, I happen to agree with the Dixie Chicks, but I'm mad at them still for speaking their mind. I don't understand that. What?
The biggest thing they say is that she said it on foreign soil, which I don't get.
Oh,
I
well, Jane
recommend
Fonda?
watching your toe.
I mean, first of all,
your brain.
time has
Hand it
proved that people like you who speak out are heroes. You hurt your
And
own
what
record
could we
sales, and
possibly-
you coming out and saying
With
something
this, we can
controversial. Maybe in
finally
retrospect
leave.
you wish you never said
And we
it. I
have
don't
so
know.
many questions to ask your brain.
When it got really bad, were you like, oh my God, what did we do?
The worse it got, the more fight you got, and the more you knew you were right. The more ridiculous, you know, when the
That
Red
is the most
Cross
insane
wouldn't
thing
take $1
I've-
million.
Besides.
We tried to give them $1 million.
Wow.
And they wouldn't take it. We had done PSAs for Save the Music, American Express. They wouldn't.
You speak the
So it was
truth.
just like
And the
that stuff is wrong. You know, that's not
dare
a
you
opinion.
breach
What
the
country
think
are you in?
tank?
What year is
And
this?
what do you
Thank God for
want?
dissent.
Yeah,
If
it
we
makes
all
you
just-
even more proud that you did say something, because it wasn't planned that I said something. I could have easily not have said anything.
And it wasn't about being, being proven right. You know, it was one of those things where she was just asking
That's
questions
no
and,
deal at all.
just
There's
speaking
a
out for
whole
what
world
she
of
thought was
We
right.
could have
Even if the
escaped,
war had gone great,
seen it all for
you still have the
ourselves,
right
tested it,
to
prodded at
speak
it.
your mind at the time.
Absolutely, and now you have thousands of men and women dead.
Yes.
Partner with you, my foe, my rival, my foremost critic.
Everyone, it's
I
a
have a
mess, and there's
strange
really no clear way
sensation
out of it. It'll
that
never
I
be
would
solved.
like that.
We'll eventually just leave and
And it'll still be a mess.
It'll still
If
be a
Very
mess.
well,
ruined that country.
partner.
So therefore, there's
we'll be
no
on to ruining the
satisfaction.
next country.
Okay, but what do you say to these fans who won't forgive you? Do you follow this logic?
You write them off. I mean, that's the 29% that still supports Bush. That's the kind of mind you can't change, so you forget about them.
Yeah, I
And you
guess.
kind of don't believe or know why they were your fan to begin with. You sort of feel like I
didn't
must not have been putting myself out there. So you're kind of glad that they know who
As
you
it
are
had
because you want to
been
know
in
that
the
your
years
fans like
before
you
the
for
Great War,
your music
Big
and who you are.
Mountain,
We've always been
the
very
Big
honest. We
Empty,
weren't trying to pull
became
anything
home
over.
to
So
one of
it was
the
surprising to us
brightest
that so many
minds
people
of the
were surprised.
23rd
Yeah, I think the
century.
stereotypical country music fan, though,
The
is like,
Courier
oh, we think of
watched
somebody
over
who,
the
no
Big
matter
Empty
what,
for years
you
to
have to
come.
support the war.
My
you have
country
to-
right or
My country
wrong,
right or
and
wrong, and
keeping
that's the
its discoveries
stereotype.
We always thought we were the
until they were
exception in people's
needed to
minds.
help
We were.
others.
Yeah, but you'll be proven right.
Naive.
If it's any
Which had
consolation,
always
I don't know if it
been
affects record
Big
sales or
Mountain's
concert tickets.
purpose.
Although you guys are selling out more
Past the
concerts than ever, right? I mean, it hasn't
laboratories of
affected
Well, they
that.
haven't on sale this
It
time
had
around.
always
Yeah, the last
been
tour was already
intended
sold out
as a
before I
place
said
to
what I
build
said.
the
So you never know if people were
future
just coming because they
of
didn't want to waste their money.
Right.
They seemed very enthusiastic. But this week, this new album went on sale Tuesday. This will really be the first gauge we've had.
Are you getting radio airplay?
Sometimes rewarded for its
Not really.
Is Clear Channel still giving you shit? Those motherfuckers? You're
It's
part of my
individual stations. It's not coming down from corporate.
Well,
it did.
Hold it a second. I'm going to
As
tell you
much as
something.
he had
Yeah.
Because I've been a
attempted to
victim of Clear
create better
Channels. But when I came out
he
against the
tried the
war,
same with
that's when they
humanity,
fired me.
with considerably
They fired me off of
less
about 10
success.
stations. And I couldn't be
These
prouder of that,
failures
except for the fact I can't get my
didn't
money from
bother
those
him overmuch.
scumbags.
Once
But the fact of the matter is,
Mentats wore off,
they
he
fired me for
forgot
that
he
reason.
had
I've been on their
failed in
stations for
any
years and
event.
years and years.
After
Suddenly I come out
all,
against the
a
war.
bright
They're
young
holding
mind who
rallies
had
for the
come
war.
to visit him
And
in the
within 2 days,
And
I
it
get
was an
fired.
election
had
year.
already
And I wasn't the
exceeded
first
his
radio personality to get
expectations.
fired after coming out against the war. So it wasn't an FCC issue because they'd been through that with me. I knew what was, I knew what was going on here, and it was a complete whitewash of the situation. They blamed the FCC. Now, Clear Channel probably still has it in for you because they're still sucking ass on the Bush administration, and they're hoping for some kind of favors, like maybe regular satellite or something. So I would think that Clear Channel is probably banning the records, and that's not cool.
Did you guys have trouble getting booked? Because I know Clear Channel owns a lot of venues too, and that was a big headache.
No, they'll make money off us.
They want to make money.
Money kind of erases everything.
And Clear Channel owns everything. So
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They own the concert venues, they own all the radio stations. It's pretty hard to go up against
unavoidable.
that. Yeah, it really is. Like if you say something that pisses them off, you're screwed. Don't I know?
But ultimately, money's what's most important.
Continue
Right.
to devour all seditious materials until it
Yeah,
nearly
exactly.
choked
Even
on
with
a
me, I think they've
paperclip.
forgotten everything
It
because I've got a
adamantly
great addendum to
maintained
my
it
story
was
that
a
I can't come out with
Chinese
yet.
paperclip,
But,
and the whole thing
I
had
was
been an
thinking you guys in order to
elaborately
get back in
orchestrated
with everyone would just go around and have
assassination
sex with every
attempt.
soldier you could find.
Whatever
We
the
tried
reason,
it. It didn't work.
it
Nothing
slowed down
worked.
for a
So you guys aren't wild
Carefully
sexual. You didn't have a
appraising
Go-Go's
each
period where
document
like
and clipboard
the Go-Go's
that
for a
kept
while.
Banging
Really.
groupies and all that stuff.
After my first marriage, that was my plan.
Did you? Did you have sex with a lot of
That was my
guys?
plan, and then I met my husband really
and the two of them
quickly.
How many
united
guys
in
you
their
been with?
hatred
Two?
of the show.
Hassan continued to ruthlessly scrub any
But
particulate
I wanted to
matter
just
that
like
came near it.
throw caution to the wind,
Eventually,
just
it
have
gained
sex
access
Have a
to the
threesome.
feeling of
hydraulics
sex, just
plant
not
and
having
nearly
emotional
flooded all
ties.
the
Anybody
big
here ever have
empty
sex
in
with a
an
woman?
attempt to scrub the crater clean.
No? Nobody?
Once it learned of the innovative
Have you and your
science,
sister ever shared a guy?
it gained
Yeah.
new purpose.
No.
It sought to develop antidotes to flush into
No one
its
had sex with a woman, not even the bassist back then.
There's one. I like that. Well, I love this song.
We
You're
hire a lot of people who have
Right, I hear you.
I can't believe this. See, that's why it sucks to be a female rock
I
star.
thought you had one experience of something with a woman. No, was it? What was it?
An orgy?
What was it besides a woman?
Two guys?
Two guys.
Oh yeah, I had a threesome.
You did?
Look at you. All right.
Did you really?
No.
I am a mother. Let's not talk about it.
Marty had a threesome. How's that happen? That's before you were a Dixie chick or after?
Before.
I mean, like. You know.
High school?
No.
I just said you were in the band.
No. Sorry.
Was it good?
Before this configuration.
Right. Was it good?
It was more like an unwanted friend kept coming in the room.
Wow.
There was two guys.
Yes.
Two guys. That's kind of weird. The two guys were able to get aroused in front of each other, which is gay. It's just a little bit gay, but a compliment to you.
Ignore each other though.
I can't.
But I mean, what did they do? Did they take turns, or were they at you at the same time?
Yeah, what did they do to you?
Thank you very much, Natalie.
See, Natalie knows the stories the show needs.
And Natalie understands the show.
Take the focus off of me.
Yeah, she knows how to deflect. That's a Stern Show skill.
First of all, you're a very sexy woman, and you know that.
Thank you. I like that.
Which makes the story even sexier. I mean, the dress and the heels and the whole thing is killing it. I mean, that's sexy.
The other personalities that he had.
So how did you get these two guys?
With the lights.
Yeah.
All right, so you're with the guy and the unwanted friend, and then what happens?
You guys were drinking, I think. It always starts with drinking.
No, we were doing worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's my excuse.
A little Coke or pot?
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical.
It wasn't heroin.
Where's my publicist?
She just shot herself.
The Autodoc is just glad to have purpose.
What happened?
She's
You heard it's simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre, bored out of their skulls.
Well, let me tell you something. You girls are wild.
Crystal meth.
In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma
Yeah,
harnesses.
what was it? Was it blow?
Releasing the corpses they had held
It sounds like
prisoner for
crystal
almost
meth.
2
Yeah.
You Dixie chicks are wilder than I thought. I could have a good time with you guys.
I know. That's why I always used to listen to your show.
I know.
Think, if he just knew who we were.
I know.
Gus.
The whole country image is just not fitting. I think you guys ought to go heavy metal or something. The way you party. You friends with any celebrities, or you live one of those sort of...
Where do you guys live?
I'm actually neighbors with Sandra Bernhard.
In Manhattan?
Yeah.
No kidding.
I live in LA and we have lots of houses.
Are you friends with Sandra?
Yeah, all over.
And you have celebrity friends? Who's your friend, Tom Cruise?
See, I'm surprised that Sandra never tried to get a hold of her, because that seems right up Sandra's alley.
Oh, yes.
The infiltration program in
Natalie and
X-13 felt
Sandra?
spent.
Never happened? She never hit on you?
Repeatedly upgraded the
No,
stealth.
she probably wouldn't turn me down.
It could
but
upgrade
we
it
never,
no more.
never.
Didn't try, she didn't
It
try to
felt
drag you to
warm,
Kabbalah?
fulfilled, and a bit
No,
sluggish.
she's not. No, she's not.
Realized not long
I
after.
do want to thank
the
you
stealth
for
suit
speaking
had
out
left it.
against the war.
Without so much as a
I
note
feel
on
you
the
really
nightstand.
deserve a lot of praise.
So the infiltration
taking that
program
stand.
sent
Most
out
people would not
robo
do that.
brains into the
They
wastes,
protect,
looking
you know,
for its
And not
favored
folding.
technology.
Hey, a lot of people would have
It
folded
eventually
under all that
found
pressure.
Repcon
You make me
HQ.
emotional. You
Oh,
really
set
do.
up a new
Yeah, you
research
really do. It's
Testing
something
and
else. I saw
murdering
Brent was on the phone from Bubba's show. He wanted to thank them as well, and I don't know what happened to him. He left.
He's probably got somebody to bang his wife. So.
Yeah. He's in hedonism. That's probably what's going on.
Is he there right now?
He was. No, I don't know where he is, but he was on the phone. Let's go to Ron in Orlando. He wants to say hi to the Dixie Chicks. They're here to announce their new album, Taking the Long Way, featuring the single Not Ready to Make Nice. It's in stores now. And go to DixieChicks.com if you want to find out about the tour. Ron, you're on the air in Orlando.
They looped through Howard. I'm a faithful listener for about 12, 15 years. I love your show. I love Sirius. I love the Sirius plays the Dixie Chicks on the country station all the time.
Right.
And I love the Dixies. I went to their tour when they were in Orlando down here at a Fly concert. Awesome stage. I'm glad they're back out making a name for themselves. I bought their album yesterday. And I love your show.
Good. I'm glad you support them. I really am. Wendy, what did you want to say, honey?
Expression in the wasteland.
Can I have an autograph of you girls?
Of course.
Yeah, you're retarded. We'll give you anything you
so
want.
obsessed with the
They're not going to screw that up. They know that.
Much less the
Because
future.
I'm the biggest fan of
what it
yours,
is.
and I listen to your album almost every day.
What is happening behind
What's going on back there? They're screaming?
Wherever Wendy is, there's chaos. Trust me.
She just stepped on a baby.
That's my hostage.
Did she kidnap one of our kids?
That's her dinner.
Southern event often isn't felt for years, even centuries.
What is going on there?
In the times following the second
no.
battle of Hoover Dam, however,
Well, you know what you do to get them to be quiet? It's called hot socks.
Where once it was viewed as a form
You
of
told the kid no
nostalgia.
climbing on the chair. Wendy,
It
I don't
became
mean
an
to be
expression
offensive, but
describing
you
the
have the level of a
potential
3-year-old. How old is that kid?
It can be easy to
Yeah, that's what I mean. That doesn't seem right to me. Maybe the mother's a little irresponsible.
Yeah, you
and all
two
that.
should have a babysitter.
That's right.
Hang on, I have to light the kid's cigarette.
I hope you're not drinking when you're around children.
I'm not.
There was old
All right.
Oh, she's responsible. then.
That's good.
And
Well,
new
thank you,
world
Wendy,
hope.
and good luck with everything.
And hope
You two
rule
have
the day.
I didn't mean to cut
Me
you.
and the baby are going to eat the diaper.
Let's go to Sally, who wants to say hi to the Dixie Chicks.
Hi, I love the show so much. Thank you, Howard, for having them on.
Yes.
I think y'all are great. I think you got a bum rap. Last I knew, we still had free speech here in America.
This war is killing a lot of innocent people, and the Dixie Chicks were the first that I know of that spoke out in a public way, and they are to be applauded, and I believe they'll go down in history as heroes. I truly do, because as time goes on, more and more people will begin to see this point of view, and I think most of the country agrees with them now. And if any of these radio stations are bad-mouthing them, or I remember a lot of them were smashing your records and all this stuff, it's time to apologize and to help them really with their image and say to these fans, enough with the nonsense. I mean, you guys suffered a lot of death threats too, right? I mean, wasn't there like a bona fide death threat where, I mean, you weren't afraid for your life, weren't you?
Yeah, there's a lot of death threats. And, you know, I think what bugged me was everyone said, you know, we're not stopping their free speech. It's our free speech to not buy their album. They need to stop whining about that. Nobody cared about that. It was the hatred.
Yeah.
The disappointment in people, kids at these rally smashings. Or we have video footage of this protester outside of one of our shows holding her 2-year-old son going, screw him, and then looks at him and goes, say screw him. And that broke my heart.
Yeah, that does. Let's go to Brent from Tampa. This is Brent from Bubba Show. I know you want to say something. I know you support the Dixie Chicks, Brent.
Yeah, I definitely do, and I wanted to call and man up and personally apologize to Natalie and say I was wrong, and I have changed my stance. And I want to say that I read the article in Time Magazine, thought it was awesome. I love the fact that you're not backing down. And one more thing, Clear Channel, I worked for them for 11 years, and everything comes from corporate.
Oh.
Don't let them try to bamboozle you. Everything comes from San Antonio. The program directors and general managers and individual markets can't wipe their ass without writing a letter to corporate.
Who's the guy that you think, Brent? Is it Hogan? Hogan?
Yeah, John Hogan is ultimately in charge, and then it all rolls downhill from there.
Yeah, all right. So to think that these guys aren't involved in the banning of the Dixie Chicks is utterly ridiculous, right?
Ridiculous, yeah. Everything that goes on at Clear Channel comes from San Antonio.
You know, when Tommy Chong was thrown in jail for selling a bong, I thought there should have been massive protests. That guy shouldn't have done a day in jail. I think he's owed an apology. I think the Dixie Chicks, though, deserve a massive protest from people who have woken up to this war and what it means, and they have an obligation to say to Clear Channel, you guys have to make good on this now.
And Clear Channel had a bunch of rallies supporting this war, and I think they owe the country an apology.
Yeah, well, they certainly fired me after those rallies.
Yeah, they did, and I know for a fact that it had a lot more to do with you not liking Bush than it did with the one thing that happened on the air.
Yeah, I know that too. Hey, thanks, Brent.
Hey, thanks. Hey, Monday
Thank
night
you.
on Howard 101, we got a special Memorial Day tribute to everybody that's lost their lives defending the country.
Yeah, Brent's doing his war thing again. You know,
Yeah.
Brent served in. Did you serve in the first Iraq War?
Yeah, the first Gulf War, and I also went to Korea and patrolled the DMZ there.
Yeah, so and that's real good when those guys get together and they just get into a whole bitch fest, and it makes a lot of sense. All right, thanks, Brent.
Okay, thanks.
All right, later.
Okay.
Cliff, go ahead, say hi to the Dixie Chicks.
Hey, how you doing? This is Joe from Boston. Actually, I hate country music, but I'm a total metalhead. But I gotta say that their new single, I'm actually really digging it.
Good.
And I just want to thank them for kind of turning me on to country music a little bit because it's not my cup of tea, but I do like it.
What about, wasn't there, in 2003, there were 2 disc jockeys who were suspended for playing songs by the Dixie Chicks in violation of a station ban. Were you able to get together with them and say thanks for standing up for us?
We did thank them in one way or another. I remember
Right.
that. And I live in San Antonio, and I remember distinctly, I think San Antonio kind of sparked a lot of what was going on.
Right.
But these 2 DJs who called for a posse to get together, come out and teach Natalie Maines a lesson. They were confusing the 2 of us because I have a ranch outside of San Antonio, but they were basically trying to incite violence.
My God.
And
Yeah.
I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, there are crazy people out there who will take these people seriously. And I just think it's very dangerous talk.
What do you do when that goes?
hell,
Yeah,
yeah.
what do you do? Do you hire bodyguards and stuff for a while, just till things tone down?
I had an armed guard outside my house, but I wound up moving. The newspaper practically printed my address, and
Wow.
I just couldn't.
I smelled book and movie of the week.
Well, certainly this will make an interesting chapter.
Meredith Baxter Burney stars.
As the Dixie Chick.
And I want my country back, the Natalie Maines story.
Ralph, you're a big yenta. Go ahead and say what you have to say.
Yeah, you know, you really got to give them a lot of respect. I mean, it's really great they spoke out about the war and everything and never backed down. I mean, you really got to respect that. And
most people would have crumbled.
Yeah, can you get the dirty one on the Sibian?
What dirty one? What are you talking
You know, the
about?
one who did Five Guys?
Now it's up to 5 guys. Nice.
See how it's mounting?
Oh, I would love that.
The poor girl experiment to give her a break.
Oh, I'm giving her a break. I'm her biggest fan.
You'd like to continue the experiment.
You got to be kidding me.
You know what happens when Merle Haggard has some blow on him?
You know, there's nothing hotter than a hot chick with money who's done a 3-way. I mean, you can't even imagine what that conjures up. You can't even imagine. The whole
Was the
time.
fiddle involved?
There's nothing better than a hot chick with money who likes fat Jersey guys.
Have you found one yet?
No.
One day it's going to happen. Let's talk to David. David, you're on the air. You can say a quick hello. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, how you doing?
All right, brother.
Hey, girls, y'all are awesome, all right?
Thank you.
I'm in the Army and everything, and, you know, that's what we're fighting for, is to open your mouth and say what you want.
Thank you.
Yeah, somebody who gets it.
Yeah, that's
A
good.
lot of letters from, and, you know, interaction with military people.
Yeah, people will come around.
Well, it's just that, you know, most of the voices we heard in the media were, yeah, shut up.
Well, and Republicans like to get to claim them, and it's not true. And the Democrats or the liberals let them do it. They let country music seem more patriotic than
Right.
other music, and nobody speaks up and says, wait a second. To me, what I said was patriotic.
Oh,
'Cause
absolutely.
I didn't want people to die
That's absolutely
for
patriotic.
a reason that has not been proven to us.
I was talking about this yesterday. It is kind of weird that the Republicans have somehow painted the Democrats as sort of gay for caring about the environment. Like, that's become like a wussy issue. Like,
Right, yeah, you're an
like-
idiot if
yeah,
you
like-
care about the environment.
Like, you're a jerk if you care. And, you know, oh, you believe in global warming? You're an asshole kind of thing. I don't even know how that happens.
But they're grasping at straws. Nobody's believing. Nobody's falling for it anymore.
Bob, you're on the air.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to ask you 3 ladies what kind of panties you were wearing right now.
Now we're getting somewhere. Let's get off those political crap.
Okay.
All right, let's get serious about it. Who wants to go first?
I don't wear panties.
Right now, you're not wearing panties.
Nope.
And you're wearing a dress.
Yeah. I don't wear panties.
Oh my God! Is that a political thing?
Dixie Chick thing?
I won't wear panties until the war is over.
Right on.
It's like Nelly with the Band-Aid.
When you're on the road and obviously there's less sexual activity, will you use a vibrator?
Do they travel? I mean, do you pack a vibrator?
Yeah. That's a good question. We'll go around the room. We'll start with Natalie.
We'll go around the room. We'll start with the drummer.
Do you pack a vibrator when you go on the road?
Well, it depends on if it's just on the bus. You know, it's with all the security, with all the phony security at the
Yes or no
airports.
answer, do you?
Not flying.
You don't?
Not flying.
But you own one?
Sure.
And you don't wear underwear because it makes you feel sexier?
No, I don't. It started with, you know, the full-on underwear and then the thong that you
Right.
think, oh, I'm going to hate a thong that's going to feel like my underwear's at my crack all day.
Right.
Then you forget that it's there. And then, like, you know,
Well,
in
now,
certain dresses or
look-
skirts, you still have those
Panty lines.
on the
Yes.
side.
Yes.
Why I left this.
Why not?
She's a two-bit liberal floozy. Well, wait a second. You're telling me, though, you know you're in a little dress today. You know there's a hint that we could see some vagina.
No.
That's got to turn. What do you mean,
There
no?
isn't. She's a pro. Look at me.
What do you mean? Okay, your
She
legs are
knows
crossed
she
out.
doesn't have on underwear.
We've all seen Paris Hilton get out of a car and you see vagina because she doesn't wear
I
underwear
am
either.
not Paris Hilton.
I understood.
But Natalie, I've even seen Kathy Lee Gifford by accident. It just sort of happens. One day they're going to catch you.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Well, you wouldn't turn away.
Would you
so
ever post?
I'm not,
Would you ever post for Playboy?
no.
You wouldn't.
No. No.
How about swank?
Yeah, let's get serious.
Black tail.
All right, Emily.
What, underwear?
Mm-hmm.
A La Perla thong, just black with
Nice.
pig trim.
Will you pack a vibrator on the road when you go off?
You know what? Natalie actually had a sex toy party in Nashville one time. All our girlfriends from the label and everybody came. And I went shopping, but you know what?
But tell us what. I thought it was disgusting that I was having one.
I think my tally was the.
And she stayed in the room shopping.
Yeah, I feel like
the
Emily's prudish.
longest.
I feel like Emily's prudish.
Oh,
Are
I'm
you?
Not,
You're
no.
not?
No, I'm just more private, I guess.
But you will not use a vibrator on yourself?
I didn't say that.
You will.
She bought the most.
I'm really.
Would you allow your husband to use it on you?
Sure.
You would? Does he ever? Yes, I have used a vibrator on my girlfriend.
Yes.
So
I think
all
it's
of you know
weird.
that.
I think it's weird for someone to own both a vibrator and a banjo.
They don't go together?
It's in the shape of a banjo.
Oh, good.
Marty, clearly you don't wear underwear, right?
No, I have to wear underwear.
You do? Why do you have to?
Can we tell that?
Tell this story.
There's a story that goes along with that?
Natalie, what's the story on the underwear?
So-
Why does she have to?
This is recently. Marty's attempted.
To do what?
To go underwearless?
We are in Miami and we go to Nobu and she's getting in the car and she says, oh, you have to get in the back because I'm wearing a dress. And I was wearing a dress and said, and what else? Oh, I don't have underwear on. She always wears underwear. She was trying it for the night.
Wow, that's sexy.
And so we are leaving Nobu,
Yes.
this interview, and she whispers to me, when I stand up, check and see if there's a stain on my dress. And I'm thinking, you know, most girls ask that because they think they've started period.
Right.
And I was like, oh, really? You think you started your period? And she said, no. And so she stood up, and she had a total wet spot.
Wow, baby.
So she said she has to wear underwear because
Did the interviewer turn you on?
very moist. It's moist like a
I
snake.
just don't understand when they're talking about feminine lubrication and all that. I don't get
Because
that.
you're so you're excited a lot. Do you ever spontaneously orgasm? Can you like just sit on the heel of your foot like Robin does and rock back and forth and get off?
I'll try that.
You would.
She hadn't thought of it before.
So it's embarrassing to go without underwear.
No. Oh, yeah.
How come Natalie can do it and not get all stained up?
She's dried up, old hag.
I wear lots of skirts and just carry
Wow,
a
wait.
tissue. No.
Save the sweet talk.
So Marty, you must.
But my question is, I mean, not wearing underwear isn't necessarily sexy.
Oh,
I
it
almost think
is.
really,
now
just
knowing-
lingerie is pretty sexy.
Knowing that you're now sitting on that stool.
Now I'm your favorite.
And I'm fixated on your legs, and I'm waiting for them to separate when you get down off that stool.
The little basic instinct move.
Yeah, they might have to carry you out on the stool. That's unbelievable.
Got to watch out for Richard and Sal sniffing that when they leave.
I know. Marty, what about you? You carry a vibrator with you? You must.
I don't have to. My husband travels with me.
Yeah, but sometimes that can get old, too.
Yeah, well, Howard has a
Marty
hot
married
girlfriend
a,
and he masturbates daily, so that doesn't
I don't
mean anything.
masturbate daily, and I've really cut down on my masturbation.
Really?
But you haven't stopped.
Not completely. When she goes away, I masturbate.
But do you take care of business when, like, if she's here for a month, you won't do anything for a whole month?
Our sex life's really good.
Oh, really? So I thought you, like,
No, I used
masturbated and then you were with her as well, like, just always.
No, come on. I'm getting a
serious.
little long in the tooth for that action. You know what I mean? That's got to slow down. At some point, I got to mature, you know?
So I would think at some point you'd become desensitized to porn, but you haven't.
Oh, no, it's impossible. You can't desensitize me to porn. I watch a lot of porn.
So instead of a vibrator, you take your husband on the road.
Yes.
But doesn't it suck when your vibrator asks you for money?
Hey, Howard, before you wrap up.
Yeah.
Well, Benji was just over there, and I know you'd love to ignore Benji.
What does he want?
I'm having such a good time, I can't imagine.
I just love that.
Are you going to ruin this?
Well, it's up to you. Go to me or not.
Go ahead.
Okay. If they had said something that you found really disgusting,
Go
or
ahead.
if some other group did, if they said, like, all fags should be killed.
Go ahead.
That's what we believe. And the stations were like, you know what? We love the music. We just don't want to support this sentiment.
Right.
We're not going to play your music. Would you have a problem with that?
Of course.
Okay.
Is that your question?
Do you know how many people on country radio have said that?
Exactly.
No,
that's the point.
So you're saying no matter what, the station should have to play your music?
No, they're saying what I'm saying. I don't know what they're saying. I'm saying that clearly they voiced an opinion that most of the country agrees with, and even if they didn't agree with it, not to play their records is wrong.
It's a business, and they can, just like their lyrics have meanings, the station say, you know what?
But they're
what we
setting
play
a
has
trend.
meaning.
They're setting a trend.
We're not saying that they should play us for any reason. We're saying that they were playing our music and
Let's
for this
deal.
specific reason.
And what if that's a specific reason? They say, you know what? We don't like what you said. We're
What
not
they're
going to play it.
saying is, though, they're not willing to apologize. They're not willing to say, hey, okay, at the time it was a heated situation. We want to come out now and say we were wrong. Why can't people say they're wrong?
I think some of them still don't think they're
Yeah, but
wrong.
what if they don't agree with and they don't want to support it?
But who is
Play
they?
music.
The stations. Like you.
But that's like saying when the Beatles said they were bigger than God and stations stopped
If
playing.
they don't want to, it should be their choice.
But that's a whole
Just
problem.
like
with
you-
No
consolidation.
one's arguing that. The fact of the matter is they should step up, because I think most people now agree they could at least step up and apologize and say they were wrong. I believe that.
And it's not. It's the problem with consolidation. One person owns everything, and so when you have that, it doesn't let individual cities and stations determine what their audience wants to listen to. When something comes down,
It all comes down to one guy. If it was like an individual station decision, it isn't even.
a monopoly.
Sit down. What's the matter with you? No. All right,
I
we
don't
hear
even
you.
know what his point is.
No,
Why is he making?
But
this
I do.
point?
Everybody's looking after their job, and the radio stations to make money and whatever. What was we and you know. We were fine with all that in the beginning. Everything snowballed and got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And these radio music directors would say, I agree with what you said, but we're just overwhelmed with calls and emails. We've got thousands. And then
And that makes
our
me
first
sick.
show,
Yeah.
our first show, well, what we know is that they were coming from an organized Republican group that,
Right.
whatever.
I know it too.
Yeah. So it wasn't the people in that city.
Right.
It wasn't 2,000 people in that city making phone calls and emails. But regardless of the fact, thousands of emails and people so angry at us they would never listen to that station again if they played our record. So we play our first show. Press from all around the world is there. This is going to be huge. There's going to be, major protesters. 10.
So
10,
just
right.
like you,
So you tell me.
Just like you, the one corporate guy stood by
All right,
his
Benji,
belief.
enough. Please, you're annoying the shit out of me.
No. They don't stand by their belief. They are caving to the fear of losing their job and being replaced. Because we all know in radio, you're in, you're out all the time. There is no job security. And what
whatever
I
their
fault them
motivation,
for
that's their
is
right.
their weakness. No, it's not. It's not right to be weak.
It's their right.
No, it's not their right to be
It
weak.
might be immoral, but it's their
Not
right.
to be weak. They cannot play us, but they were weak.
I agree.
I kind of agree.
So they're not
with
standing
him
by their
on
convictions.
some level.
No, they're standing by the naysayers who. When you have a great flight attendant, you go home, rush home, and write a letter. No. When you've got a real bitch, do you go home and write a letter? Yes. So the supporters are not calling and writing, and that's why to us the protest, or the I want this album to sell just to say you
F you,
can't, or you
can't dictate.
control our
And
music
if the
and
album
what we
sells
do.
big, you'll see they'll all add it. Marty, go ahead. You were saying you agree with Benji.
I just kind of agree that it's business and it's their right to play us or not play us.
Right.
Corporate bands are wrong. I think smashing art, like with bulldozers and tractors, I think that's despicable. I think death threats are despicable. It's the crossing of the line I have a problem with. Not healthy.
How do you feel about war protesters burning the flag?
No, I'm against that.
Okay.
I'm for it.
Partly because it's...
I don't care.
Is that any different than
I think
smashing records?
I think if you think a war is wrong, you have to do what you have to do.
The flag is everybody's. The flag is not George Bush's or the people who support the war.
No, because people hang patriotism on a flag.
Yeah.
I don't. I personally don't. I think that if that real, I don't
I'd
think
be more upset about burning the president than the flag.
that's exactly right. I
You'd be
think that
upset
burning the
about that?
flag,
Just kidding.
people make too much. I personally would never burn a flag. I got too much respect for this country, too much love for it, but I'm not going to sit there and shoot some asshole who's got to burn a flag. I don't care.
But Benji then agrees with the Clear Channel people for firing us and us being forced off
I don't
regular
agree
radio
with it.
then
I don't
what
agree
he's
with it,
carrying on
but
about.
I think it's a
I know
right.
that Clear Channel had a right to fire me. I'm just letting you know why they fired me. It wasn't because of the FCC.
Or anything you said.
It had to do with my support of my lack of support for the war, right? And for coming out against it. Jeff the Drunk, you're on the air. Go ahead. I know that. What do you mean? Don't know? I know that Natalie's a big fan, so she needs to hear from Jeff the Drunk. Go ahead. Yes, Jeff, quickly.
I want to talk to Blue Iris.
Blue Iris.
Which one of you girls give the best head?
That's a disgusting question, but what is the answer? Some women do not.
Well,
we're married. We don't give head anymore.
When you're in a bed, you don't give head. You don't have to. You're too rich to give head.
We're married. You don't give head when you're married.
Is that true, though? Really?
No, we've never given head to the same guys, so we don't know who's best. But we do know who's more experienced. And all of Marty's stories, as you can imagine,
Marty had a threesome.
we joke, all Marty's stories used to start with, so anyway, I was giving this guy a blowjob. Or a hand job. It was always...
Is it disgusting? Do you find it disgusting to give a guy a blowjob?
No.
Is it erotic? Does it turn you on?
Sure.
You like it?
Yeah.
You
I
do?
don't not like it.
Sometimes I think women don't like it. I know Robin hates doing it.
I don't hate it.
She had to watch a porno to learn how to do it.
please,
She didn't
I
learn how to
don't
do it.
hate
She learned it late in life.
Right. You won't
It
swallow.
wasn't that I learned it late in life.
Robin
I was
will
just taking my
not tell the Dixie Chicks the truth. You will not swallow.
I won't swallow. I don't like that.
Dixie Chicks, how do we feel about swallowing?
It makes me gag. I don't like to.
Marty does not do it. Let's go to Natalie. Natalie.
I've done it, but now...
Really?
You know, it's not like a... you know, it's just
What about for a soldier? Come on, I'm just trying to get things back on track. Really? I'm surprised to hear you say that. I'm deeply disappointed in you.
Well, I guess I don't get... If you're not, like, stopping and spitting, why...
So what do you
What's
do?
so great about swallowing? You just
So
think,
the guy,
oh, she really loves
But the guy unloads, and then all of a sudden you pull your head back?
No.
Oh, you'll swallow it.
I'll taste it, I just don't swallow it.
You spit it out. But where do you spit it?
No,
Ladies,
there's saliva
You
and
hold it in your
slobber
mouth.
going on.
you hold it in your
I
mouth.
hold it in my mouth until I have an opportunity to put it in
Right.
the proper place.
Right, exactly. That's what I tell my
Just
girlfriend.
smearing it, and you know, it's a part of the.
Wait a second.
I tell my girlfriend,
I'm
who's got another $80 for a couch?
Don't worry, Emily. Emily, you're not off the hook. I'm gonna get to you in a second. But what is the proper place to put? In other words, after you finished, you run out of the room.
That's where the term sink spitter comes from.
No, but how do you get to a? I mean, I'm in bed most times.
We don't have to cuddle and snuggle after.
So you get up demurely and you spew out this stuff into a sink or into a tissue.
Mhm.
Jeez.
I mean, it's not there anymore, but I haven't swallowed it or made.
But where does it go?
Just in the.
What do you drool? What are you
It's got to go somewhere.
It just drips down the, you know.
It goes in the pizza box.
Emily, you're so quiet and so demure. Solve this problem.
My question is, why do guys like it to be swallowed so much?
I'll tell you why.
It's power.
Go ahead, Gary. Answer it.
Well, for starters, you don't want to. It's an abrupt ending. You know what I mean? When you get up out of bed, it's a very abrupt ending.
Right.
And there is a part of like that you love me so much that listen,
You would swallow this disgusting.
I do. When we take care
If
of
I was you
business,
guys, I'd spit in my sister's banjo. What? Seriously?
Uh-huh.
The reason men like it is that like when you're with a woman, you don't like to pull out.
We're gross.
So you like to finish there.
Uh-huh.
And then to see her spit out, it's almost like, oh, you're gross.
Right. I see.
You see.
I can understand.
But I think I'm sensitive to that, and that's why I don't do that. And I don't. It's not like, okay, you're done. I'm done. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I've met very few women who
I'm
do it
still
right.
there, but I'm not.
Love me, love my seed.
Hey, Howard.
I'm still taking.
Well, we've learned the Dixie Chicks don't swallow.
Hey, Emily can't answer a question with a question.
Right.
You can get an answer there. That's very presidential of you.
Depends how much I've had to drink.
Really? Oh, so you will
Depends on the night.
Oh, I like that.
If I'm in a cuddly mood.
I sense you guys haven't really spoken this much about this kind of stuff.
We really, we talk about sex in general, but we don't really share stories.
Well, we don't share current.
Are you guys close? Is it strictly business, or do you get together outside?
Marty was just picking the crust out of my ear in the dressing room.
No, but I don't mean that. I mean, when you're outside of the studio or working together, do you guys get together and hang out because you really like each other?
We play Yahtzee.
And poker.
I feel like
Hey,
I feel like Emily never has you to the ranch.
It's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
It's a
But
long
you know,
drive.
Marty and I are sisters, so
Right.
we always end up at the same family things. But Marty married
Natalie's sister's husband.
So now
Natalie's-
they're technically kind of sisters-in-laws.
Wow.
So we're always at the same family.
It's very incestuous.
Hey, I got one more question.
Very
before they
country.
Go.
I think we just gave.
Texas Hold'em. So anytime you need a
Right.
I think
another
we
person
just.
at the table.
You just what?
I think we just gave Jeb Bush his campaign slogan: "The Dixie Chicks don't swallow."
I like it. Yes. Go ahead.
One last question.
Is it a sexual question?
No.
I was hoping it was.
I have a sexual question.
All right,
real
Richard,
quick.
yours quickly.
Sorry,
Richard's
guys.
a real perv, so get ready, girls.
Do you get your periods at the same time, like girls that work together?
Who cares?
Great question, Richard.
So
And do you have similar shaving styles, like down there?
Have you guys seen each other naked?
yeah, of course.
No, I have not seen either one of them naked. They're very bashful. I have not.
Anybody want to get naked now? I'll support that.
Since I don't wear underwear, they have seen me
Right.
naked.
Are you fully shaved?
I am.
Landing.
Wow.
And no underwear. She's a keeper.
Natalie, no underwear, and you're fully shaved.
Yeah.
Good.
And swallows.
And wears a rock the size of Gibraltar on her finger.
The question I was going to ask is, I thought I read in the notes that did somebody's ex-husband win the lottery?
No, the ex-lead singer's husband won the lottery.
No wonder she's out of the band. Well, listen.
I think all your husbands won the lottery.
There's a lot of lottery winners here.
But I'd love for you guys to come clean and tell me how the money situation works out with the husbands. Like, in other words, like, you've got to pay all the bills and everything, and they've got to feel a little freaked out.
So
by
basically, the husband lives in your house.
that. Right.
Is any husband on some sort of an allowance?
Yeah.
Meaning, is there any husband who doesn't generate
No.
enough money?
What do you mean, no?
Actually, me and my husband keep completely separate money.
Yeah, but let's say
But I pay, like, I have bought the houses.
the cars.
He buys his car.
Okay. Who buys the food?
Oh, that's...
Where's that money come from? Your account.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Whoever goes grocery shopping, or if we go out, he always pays. And we don't have a shared credit card.
When you guys go to dinner, he pays?
Yeah.
Where's he getting that money?
He works. He has some money.
Oh, come on.
He
got that-
spends too much.
He's got
but
that
he has
mountain of
some
money from the horror film.
Listen, I've been to Nobu, and that's no cheap night. He can plunk down $500.
Well, you know what? He does it whether he can or not. He's not great with money, but he spends it.
Right.
Well, let's say this: if you go on vacation, who picks up? Who's planning that and paying for everything and setting that all up?
In my relationship, we take turns.
Hey, Natalie, how come you wear those two bands around your hand? What's going on there? Is that sort of weird religious thing?
Yeah. I actually fell, but and so I pulled 4 ligaments. But in our video, everyone has analyzed this video, and there is a lot of symbolism and things. But people think that I've been brainwashed and that's a W.
Oh.
And I like that. I think
It's
we're
'cause you
gonna try
hurt-
and sell these at the show.
It's because you hurt your fingers.
Wouldn't that be awesome if 78% of America was walking around with us?
I thought it was like a Michael Jackson glove thing. I didn't know.
I know. No.
Do you know we have a camera in your chair so we can see up your driving? All right,
We
listen.
have to have it.
Dixie
way
Chicks,
up.
congratulations on your new album. I do personally hope that everyone goes out and buys a copy, and it would be sort of an FU to Clear Channel and all these people who banned understand you, and I would buy.
But just the haters, you know, it's
Right.
not about radio.
The Dixie Chicks' new album, Taking the Long Way, featuring the single Not Ready to Make Nice, is in stores now, and it was nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
All right, and we'll take a break, and then we'll talk some more about swallowing with Robin.
Oh, I'm not going to do it. That's all you want.
Are you guys fighting with Toby Keith still?
No.
No?
That is all so off our radar. I just can't even tell. I don't have a clue what's on the charts, who the artists are, what number our song went to. It's just we're at peace with everything. We're fine.
I didn't even know why you were fighting with him in the first place.
We weren't fighting. Everyone made it a big deal.
It was time for you guys
I
to
don't
get
even
over
know him.
it. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, we need to get over it.
I'm a little out of
Stop
the country
whining.
thing. Right.
So, ladies, how was it in there tonight?
It's good. It's fun. It's fun. Are y'all mad at me? We overshared as usual. I got everything. I'll say. We've overshared those things before. That's an understatement. Are you
Well, you said you were big fans of the show. Were you nervous being in there talking to Howard?
I just didn't want to seem like a germ. I didn't want to seem like too big a fan. It's hard to hold back.
Was it hard talking about?
Okay, let's say hi to Eric. Eric, you're on the air. Good morning. In Hoboken, New Jersey.
Howard, the last time I spoke to you, I asked you if Beth decided to bring another beauty into the bed, would you actually be able to handle it? Excuse me. And, you know, your answer was pretty clear. You said you could handle it, and I think the discussion wasn't so much on physically could you do it, but, you know, emotionally and...
Yeah, I think I could handle it. I mean, I think so. I don't know.
Oh, don't even go there.
I might get jealous, though. I get jealous of anyone. I mean, like, it would be kind of exciting, but emotionally, I don't know if I could handle it. I've said that before. I mean...
Right, so
I could probably get jealous of somebody without a dick, even. You know what I mean? Like most guys are like, hey, it's just another chick. She's not going to fall in love, but maybe she would.
Well, that's my point. Assume for a minute Beth did bring another woman into the bed, and you had a wonderful night. You guys banged all night. It was great. You watched your woman with another beautiful chick, and, you know, your fantasy came true, and that was that. Maybe in the morning you didn't even stop to eat breakfast. You went out for a run and let Beth handle kicking her out of the house. And, you know, it goes on. That's it. It's over. So a couple days go by, and Beth maybe wakes up one morning and realizes that she kind of, you know, liked that girl enough even to go out to lunch with her. They go out.
Yeah, that would fuck my head up.
Yeah, they go out to lunch. They go shopping all day, spend.
And then you go out and eat each other out?
Right, you don't know what
Without
they're
me
doing
there?
out there.
No, it wouldn't work for me.
Someone
probably.
else has her attention.
Yeah, I'm a real baby. I mean, I get insulted if Beth even like doesn't pay enough attention to me, and even if she pays too much attention to the dog. I'm like a real fucking psycho. I mean, I like constant attention, man.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but I'm a little.
Oh, I don't.
I'm way needy. No, Robin isn't like that. I'm telling you. I'm like fucked
Leave me
up.
alone.
I'm looking to sort of change that. I don't think it's healthy for me because it makes me too dependent on people.
I think at this point, if you're...
Nah, I could change. I'm telling you, I'm capable of change.
You think?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, if Beth realized she needed to have a relationship, maybe even an emotional relationship.
Oh, fucking forget it. I'd get her right out of the door.
That bullshit could only lead to bad things.
Yeah.
You'd have to break up with her?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even like when, like, you know, just Beth's busy doing, like, she's doing something tonight.
Welcome, sir.
And I don't even like that, you know. But I know she's got to be her own person and do shit on her own. But I'm like, I don't like anything. I'm so negative, and I'm just like really fucked up.
I have the Beth ultimatum for you.
All right.
Okay. If Beth was with another woman, you'd have to leave her. You'd have to break up with her.
Yeah, if she was with anybody emotionally, I'd get the fuck out of that.
If you were number one.
And I'd go bang Carmen Electra.
If you had to choose between losing Beth or between losing the wonderful Robin Ophelia Quivers, which would you choose?
Well,
That's not fair.
Making a living is very important. The team has to stay together. I mean, no, I'm not answering that. I mean, they're both important to me. I don't have to make that choice.
Well, you had to. instead of.
All right, we're on a boat. You can only save one of them.
See, well, that Mary McCormick movie.
On a boat, he's saving the one he's banging around.
I think she's going to call in next week. But this movie that's coming out that Mary's in, she's the lead in. After this, this smart
Thank
bombs.
you, Fred.
Fred with an evil.
What did Fred say?
I was. You were on to the next thought, but I said that, on the boat he's saving the one he's banging, and then Fred goes, "You're chum, Rob."
I got an easy one for you. If you had one or the other, you had to, okay? I'll start off with some easy ones. If you had to kill one or the other, who would you choose? Ralph Cirillo or Ronnie the limo driver?
Like a Sophie's Choice kind of
Shit,
thing?
that's tough. Ronnie's really good with the organizing all that driving shit.
But Ralph's a really good phone call.
That would be really...
You'd better say Ronnie.
That would be really hard for me because Ronnie kind of pulls that all together.
I think all you got to do is look at.
You
got to look at one Letterman appearance of you in 1985, and you're going to go with Ralph.
Yeah, but if someone in here gets out of hand, Ralph ain't anywhere to be found.
But where's Ronnie? Sleeping.
Well,
yeah, when has he been found?
He might come in and bite somebody in the ankle at least.
I'm just thinking who would be easier to replace, Ralph or Ronnie? Because Ralph does provide a good function for me. I don't have to go clothes shopping, and I hate that.
I think Ralph is easier to replace than Ronnie.
You do?
I mean, Ronnie, because Ronnie
there's a
knows.
lot of guys who drive, though.
Yeah, but Ronnie knows your routine. He knows you. He knows the ins and outs of what you like and what, you know what I mean? Like,
when he puts together a limo, Howard doesn't have one, can't find fault with it because Ronnie is taking care of everything he could possibly.
We hear about the bad stuff. You never hear when he's not complaining. Obviously, everything's okay.
But how do I, replace Ralph in the sense that he knows how I like to dress?
Yeah, but don't you know how you like to dress?
Yeah, I know how I like to dress, but I want somebody who understands my sensibility.
Right.
Yeah, that takes a long. That's a long process.
Really, honestly, dude. Honestly,
you want him to take Ronnie.
You're being a little.
And not only that,
baby there.
No,
not only that,
I'm just trying to weigh it
You
out.
can't live without a stylist in your life.
Not only that,
I'm thinking who would be easier to replace.
I think Ralph, of course.
Yeah. But there's a lot of
the
guys
guy
who
who picks
drive.
out your clothes.
Artie, relax. We're going to get to you.
But Ronnie does.
All right.
Ronnie does a lot more than drive. He's
all right,
a
I'll kill
security guy.
Ralph.
But wait a minute, Ralph is also a friend. I mean, you're taking away a lot of functions.
Oh, now you're talking about friend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm weighing it all out.
Oh, okay. Well, Ralph's a better friend.
All right.
But Ronnie's good at what he does for me, so.
Ronnie's a good guy. I mean, Ronnie does what he's got to do.
Yeah, well, Artie's not letting me answer. He's shaping my answer.
Yeah, he's really campaigning.
He's campaigning for Ronnie.
I'm trying to fix my mic.
What's going on with that?
What happened to the screw?
Where's Scott the engineer?
I have the screw, but I don't want him to bug.
Go ahead. Screw in your mic. Go ahead.
All right, so Ronnie's the survivor?
Artie's fixing. Yeah, I guess Ronnie, because Artie made me feel like a fucking asshole for keeping Ralph alive.
No, I thought you needed a wake-up call there from someone, I think, from the neighborhood. You can't live without a stylist.
Can you screw in his microphone?
How come his screw isn't longer?
Get rid of that. That's
that
what's bothering.
serious thing is probably in the way.
The little box with the Sirius and the Howard Stern logo?
Yeah, here, you hold, I'll hold the top. Get screwed in.
Now we got
microphone
4
just fell
hands trying to fix this.
My head's going to explode.
All right, there you go. That's it.
There you go. Just, yeah.
Any assholes to take the screw out.
Is
What's
it
that?
stripped?
What's that, Scott?
It's not stripped. It's just too short. The screw's too short.
Why don't you just use a different mic? Scott never.
Fuck everyone.
Oh, he's got it. Scott's got it. There you go, Scotty.
I did that exact thing 4 weeks ago. We're good for another month. I won't touch it. I won't touch them.
All right.
Move the whole thing. Don't.
Right.
Oh boy.
I remember exactly how to touch the microphone.
All right, so Ronnie gets to live, I
Ronnie
guess.
the limo driver. If you had to kill either Ronnie the limo driver, this should be an easy one, or Dominic Barbara, who would you kill?
Well, Dominic doesn't doesn't provide a function for
I
me.
just want to get some easy ones out before I
I mean, it's whoever's.
Who was
service
Dominic?
rate.
Dominic and who?
Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Benji or the gay team, Sal and Richard?
Oh, you see, I don't want to get into that. I have a definite answer on that.
Oh, you do?
Come on, it's a game.
Wow, that's interesting to say.
No, I don't want.
You
Because
have a
first of all,
definite answer to
if I
that.
kill Benji, Benji's been prone to cry whenever I say I don't need him and stuff.
Oh, you're kidding. Does he really?
Yeah, he's cried like 2 or 3 times when I say mean shit.
He'll live.
Yes, you have. You've cried.
Okay, listen, I give you permission to say whatever you want.
No, I'm not going to say
know the
that.
answer. No, please
No,
don't.
I'm not saying that
Please
answer. I'm not.
don't.
No, because then Sal goes psycho.
They both would go
It
psycho.
really hurts their feelings.
I've cried when you said things. Once when you said something that was really untrue and then cut off my mic and wouldn't let me speak.
What was it?
I don't remember. I could figure it out.
Yeah, I saw him crying, and I went,
"Oh,
No, but Howard, honestly,
motherfucker's crying."
I kind of know what your answer is to this because of
What is it?
That you'd kill Benji.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, it's a game. It's not going to get any.
I'm just fucking with you, Benji.
It's okay, man. I mean, everyone has definite opinions. I have definite.
Well, it's like, first of all, there's 2 of them, and they're real hard workers.
Oh, you're saying Benji's not?
No, Benji's a hard worker,
What are you saying?
but they, like, I get a lot of output from those 2.
Yes.
You know, you see, they make phony phone calls. They do a lot of stuff. They lick balls.
They lose their
That is
dignity
like-
every day, as Hardy pointed out.
Like even Benji used to
Every
get
day.
naked and jump in the pool, the Playboy Mansion,
And he stopped.
And like he got like all credible now. He's
Yeah.
he's like working with Mel Brooks or something. You know, he's a writer now.
Yeah, he's Woody Allen.
If
Yeah, he's
Sal
Woody
and Richard,
Allen,
if
you know?
Sal and Richard stopped the gay stuff, then
Yeah.
then what would you do?
Well, no, I think they're even strong without the gay stuff. But Benji's strong
Really?
too. You see, that's I got to give Benji a lot of credit. He writes a lot of shit on the fly. He's listen. Benji wouldn't be here if he wasn't talented.
Welcome,
So-
sir. Or
That's why you got to make a choice.
But if I got 2 versus 1, I might as well
Yes,
keep the 2.
Sophie, you gotta choose
Well, the big
one.
question here is Sal or Richard. That's the big question.
Oh, gee.
So
Suicide watch.
There.
Don't go there.
you're putting Benji in an unfair contest by putting Benji up against 2 guys. I mean, you always take 2 riders over 1.
Benji, yeah, right. So Sal or Richard is the big question.
Well, wait, you got to keep those together because they're going to go up against the next round.
No, we gotta know
Sal or
between
Richard
Sal
is-
and Richard.
that's-
All right, so Benji's dead. Let's see.
So now Sal and Richard,
Thanks for at least taking me on the boat, though.
they have to go up against one another.
I think,
Richard's gayer, probably.
yeah.
So
Well, Richard's got the dad with the funny voicemail. Richard's, I think.
But Sal
Yeah,
has
but
the
Sal's
wife.
got the wife.
Sal's got the wife. Hey, by the way, I received the email.
In the pouch.
Yeah, I don't like this game because, I like all these guys and it really causes them a lot of pain.
Oh, is that? You think that people are
Yeah.
going to take it seriously?
it's a great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Once I kill Sal, I'm thinking I'm keeping Richard over Sal.
No, don't say that.
We're only
Yeah.
on Sal and Richard. Let me get to the last.
You're keeping Richard over Sal?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's probably a good choice.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's pair those guys back together again because they're going to need it against this.
Oh, Sal's good with that wife of his.
The
Yeah,
wife,
that has provided
but
a lot of
the wife's not.
entertainment.
The wife's not going to be around that much longer, though.
And Richard's father will always be there. And
I will say
tell
one thing,
Crows.
too. In Sal's defense, he's way better at the roasts.
That's true.
That's
That
a big
is
one.
true.
Way better at the
But you
roasts.
can get a lot of people to roast.
Nah, but he's
Yeah, we
really
got
good.
some roasters.
Yeah, we can pull in roasters from everywhere.
But he has a nice touch with it.
All right, here's some questions. This is from
Oh, and the Gary
Richard
stuff.
will
The
let you
with the
wax
Gary
it.
mask and the Gary dancing and shit. That's funny.
Oh, that's true.
That is funny, but I don't know, Richard.
See, I think Richard would suck any cock, though. Not just Sal.
Yeah, but that's not the funny
But I
stuff
think,
they do.
given a choice, I think Sal could be converted into a cocksucker.
Who do you think's funnier, honestly, Richard or Sal? Artie.
This is me?
Yeah.
Yes, Artie, it's you.
If I came to you and said, look, I got to get rid of one of these guys, the budget just doesn't call for it.
Who's the funnier guy?
Wow.
See,
They're they're strong in both.
Richard
They're
will-
strong in different areas. I do respect Sal at the roast, but I mean, look. One of the reasons he's good at the roast is because he has no filter. He's insanely vicious.
Right.
And he does say a lot more stupid shit on the air that he doesn't realize he's saying.
I don't think he- I don't see- I don't-
I'm watching the TV camera.
Yeah, there. Look at it. Oh, this is funny.
Richard is a real funny guy. Richard is a talented, like, I think in bits and acting. They were both great as characters in that wrestling bit.
Yeah.
They were both very good. See, the
whose
Sal
idea?
thing. The Sal thing is the vicious. He's vicious. I don't think Sal writes a lot of those roast jokes.
Oh, really?
Now he steals them?
No, he
Oh,
doesn't
my
steal them.
Look
I
at
think
him.
a guy
Look at the
writes them
camera.
for him.
Look at the.
Well, now it's Richard.
Kill Sal.
No, I don't think Sal steals any jokes. But we all ask people for jokes during the road.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
All right, so maybe now it's Sal's got a marker in his asshole.
See, now if Richard was funnier, he would...
wait, did he just sit on that? Did that go up your ass?
All right, here's what happened. While we're having this discussion, the cameras are on Sal and Richard, which they love. Sal bends over, puts a magic marker in his ass.
Oh.
Richard comes over and kicks him in the ass, and Sal, not thinking, sat on the magic marker real quick and impaled himself, and now he's in pain.
I'll tell you, I got a definite answer. I won't cop out on this.
Okay.
Because of the lack of filter and the insane rudeness that he's capable of, and it creates bit after bit, is and the fact that also he's funny is Sal.
Look,
Yeah,
he's
I'd probably
taking
have to go with Sal.
He's putting his cock on Gary's mouth
Oh.
Yeah.
See, now I'm voting for Richard.
Really?
Now I'm
that's
voting for
gross.
Richard.
That is gross.
That's not even funny.
All right,
now.
guys, turn off the camera, because...
Bunch of gay circus monkeys.
Really?
All right, some
both very
questions.
funny
Please
guys.
provide an update on Sal's marriage. Please provide an update on Gary's personal problem, Artie's visits with Dr. Abloh. Is Dana dating, and is Java still alive? Well, I'll start with this one. I can answer the dog question. Yes, Java's still alive.
Oh, that's nice.
I get to see her every once in a while. Very rarely.
Does she remember you?
Yeah, she's so my dog. That's the crazy shit about it. I mean, you know, that dog sees me. I trained that dog.
Yes, you did.
I
You
went
spent
walking-
a lot of time with that dog.
I walked with that dog every day in the woods. And when I get to see her every blue moon, I get to, you know, so she you could just tell she wants to be with me.
Oh, she wants to leave with you. You leave her.
But she has a good life, and you know, and she lives in the house she always lived in with the kids and stuff. So, you know, I wasn't going to be the asshole who took the dog.
Or fought over the dog.
Yeah, I wasn't going to like
My
fight
dog.
for custody of the dog. A lot of assholes do that, but I ain't fighting over custody of a dog. You know, but yeah, the dog's still alive, and although one of the kids told me that she might have a touch of arthritis, and that upset me. That really got me bummed because she's like 9. All right, what do you want to go to next? Is Dana dating Artie?
I don't know.
You're
I
not
don't
in
know.
touch at all.
I mean, I don't want to know either.
Okay. You still would have a feeling of.
Of course. Yeah, sure.
All right, little twinge.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think you'll get word if she is dating someone?
I don't know from who. Maybe.
Yeah.
We know some of the same people, and, you know, obviously, so maybe I would.
Dana and I emailed each other twice, but I think Artie said to her, hey, you should email Howard back. He's writing you.
No, I don't
No.
have contact with her.
At all?
I haven't talked to her in months, yeah.
Yeah, she's doing well.
Oh, you know more about Dana than Hardy does.
Well, I got 2 emails from her.
Oh.
About what?
I had written to her to just say that, I forget what the occasion was. I just said...
You emailed her?
I think Beth was in touch with her, and then I said hello.
Well, I
and
know
then-
you said Beth had emailed.
Yeah, but there was something that there was. I have to look at the email to remind myself what.
Dog related?
No. We did speak because I always think it's weird. Like I knew Dana pretty well and was like, you know,
know.
what am I going to be an asshole and not?
It's not
say
her
hello?
fault. I couldn't make it work.
Right. Not her fault. You had addictions.
It's heroin's fault.
Right. It's nobody's fault but heroin.
If we gotta blame somebody, let's blame
It's not
Harold.
Lou Dobbs' fault. It's nicotine's fault.
All right, for Artie now in a boat, Dana or Robin? Who do you say?
Dana.
Thank you.
Well, just because I could bang her.
No, you can't. You can't even bang her anymore.
Oh, in a boat, no one around, I'll force myself on. I couldn't do that to you, Rob.
All right, Artie's visits with
In a workplace.
Artie's visits
Robin.
with Dr. Abloh. Were there any visits in the last?
The day he was here is the last day I saw him.
I had a feeling.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
All right. Gary's personal problem. I don't
But
think.
that's a personal problem.
But that's a personal problem. Is Gary?
Is it resolved? Can he just say that?
Have you commented on your personal problem on the air at all?
I haven't commented on my personal problem. It's not resolved. It's a family thing, and I know that somebody said on the message boards that they thought I went to rehab, but I didn't go to rehab. It's something to do with my family.
A 2-day rehab?
Exactly.
I'm not sure what it is either. I don't even know what Gary's deal is.
Well, you could say that you're a family member.
I'm dealing with some issues with my mom. That's where
Yeah.
I'll leave it.
Yeah. And
And that's that.
Yeah, it's. I also think he has gingivitis, but that's my guess.
Gingivitis? That's a personal problem, too.
The
Don't
big
talk
teeth
about
have to be a
that.
problem. Hey, I got all like medical, I'd been putting off going to the doctor, so I went to the eye doctor.
Oh, you've been doing all of it.
Yeah, I went to
'cause you
the.
went for a physical.
Yeah, I went to my physical turned out real well. Doctor told me 100% fucking healthy as a horse.
Good.
Eye doctor says the best way to tell somebody's health is to do an eye examination. The back of the eye has some sort of artery or vein that they can, by the way the blood flows through it, they can tell the sign of health.
Really?
And I was in pretty good shape.
Isn't it good that, you knew that, but isn't it great to actually hear that come out of a doctor's mouth?
Yeah, I felt really good. And in fact, he said, this was weird, my vision got better.
Really?
Which is odd at my
How
age.
long have you worn glasses for?
Since second grade.
Wow.
Yeah, my nearsightedness isn't as bad anymore.
Now, how does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know.
It might have been psychological. Maybe as you get better,
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
you can let some of that go.
Yeah, my vision actually improved. He said, in fact, your glasses are too strong for you. See?
Well, I've always been so lucky with that. I never needed glasses. I never had a cavity.
So lucky.
Never had a cavity?
In my life, I've never had a. And I don't take extra care of my teeth. It's just luck, I think.
And the final question was Sal's marriage. Sal, you want to comment?
I
What's
think
going on?
Sal, to me, has been almost going overboard with the gay shit lately, and I know his wife probably doesn't like that. I think Sal is sort of putting down a flag and going, "Look, I'm doing what I do." And
You think his antics on the show become
I think
an issue?
I think Sal's in a healthy place where I think he's telling his wife that I live like I live, and you made your point, and I get it, and we're moving on. I don't know. That's my theory.
Well, I told Beth what Sal and Richard did yesterday with the painting, and then Sal putting his cock on Richard's lips. And she said, I could never be married to Sal.
Yeah, that's rough.
Women don't dig that shit.
Well, that's what I was trying to explain yesterday.
It's just like, would you be married to a jackass?
Well, I mean, again, but it's
you
like
wanna know
when
something,
you see
though?
your husband putting his dick in somebody's mouth, and I mean, again, it's the dignity thing.
That's only Richard, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sal, how is your marriage going? It's
going all right.
What does that mean? That doesn't sound promising.
Good
You know what? Going all right is probably like the typical marriage these days, so I think I'm right on par, pretty
Do you
much.
think she's dropped all contact with her
Yeah.
emotional friend?
Yes, absolutely.
Now
You kind of know your partner. You know when something's weird and something's
Oh,
different.
yeah, you really know.
Yeah, then again, I had
you
no
found it
fucking
through
clue.
text messages. You don't know anybody.
But are you still in counseling?
No, we gave that up
Oh, you
immediately.
gave that That's up?
Really? It didn't work?
Worst thing that ever happened to me
Really?
was counseling. Biggest mistake.
Really?
Oh, it's terrible. I'm not
Why?
kidding.
Why? It gets a dialogue going.
You know what? Yeah, well, sometimes dialogue is not good. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. The less
Hey,
you
look,
talk,
man, I
sometimes the better you get along.
Yeah?
And I noticed that in the beginning of our marriage, she was always yapping away, driving me crazy. Then when things veered off and she found the emotional friend, it was kind of nice and pleasant. You know,
Right.
it was a little quieter around the house and stuff.
Right.
But then when I wanted her back, the yapping started again. I said, let's get rid of the therapist. So now we talk, but we don't get that deep into shit, you know, and it's good.
Oh,
But
So you're like a couple from the 1940s.
Exactly.
Don't you think the counseling was probably bringing up some issues that you guys just avoid and that maybe you do need to confront them if you're really going to be a real couple?
Yeah, but sometimes avoidance is good, you know,
Yeah, right.
like dodging a bus, you know.
Right. It's
But
true.
I have one problem. I don't even know if I could talk about it, Howard. Something has affected, since this happened, something has affected me personally.
You like cock?
No.
What?
We knew that. I guess it's an emotional thing. I've had a tough time in the sack.
I
Can't
knew
get
it.
it up?
He can't get it up.
Because you feel like less of a man?
I don't know what it is. It's just a combination of, right, maybe if that defines it, less of a man, I feel like I have to be
You mean
better.
your wife says now, I want to have sex, and you just can't get it up?
She still doesn't say she wants to have sex. I still say it. But when it happens, it's been a little bit difficult lately.
There's a medical term.
And it's driving me crazy.
There's a medical term.
It's never been that
I
way.
agree. You should not talk to anybody and get any help.
So I'm thinking about getting Viagra or something.
But wait a second.
it's-
Don't you think
can't
it's
fuck.
possible? Do you think it's possible you're gay?
No, not at all.
I mean,
I have
with
no
the shit
gay
that you do with Richard and sticking
No.
shit in your ass and
You have a look of joy on your face when your cock is in his
Because it
mouth.
offends you. I mean, the fact that everybody
Because
gets
of
so
me? It
disgusted,
offends
it's
me?
funny.
You know, they're just saying this for the laugh
Yeah,
factor.
I know. But
I know it's funny.
He's really angry. That's what that's all about.
I'm not angry anymore.
No, yes, you are.
I'm
It's
sad.
coming out in your penis. You're not.
you can't even fuck her.
You know what happened is that in the beginning.
You are angry.
You think
don't-
so?
Of course. What do you mean you can't get it up?
You hate her guts.
Yeah, I mean,
besides the point.
Your wife's an
Art.
attractive woman. There's no
Beautiful.
problem there.
We're
so.
getting along. We're getting along really, really good. But I feel like I don't know.
Can you jerk off?
Yeah, I can.
Oh. So you don't even want to have sex, so you go down and,
I
you jerk
can,
off?
and I can wake up with an erection.
Yeah.
But when the time comes, I get it, and then it's like 50-50. You know
I
what I
wouldn't
mean?
do Viagra though. That ain't the problem.
Sal, how long you been married?
11 years.
And you and your wife hate each other. You're totally normal. You're a normal American couple. How could you not hate a person you've been with that long? It just doesn't, you know.
It's like it's getting better, but it's stress. At first, Howard, I was stressed out over the fact that I had to be the better man.
Yeah.
And that brought it down. And now I'm stressed out about it not staying up. You know, I've gone to phase 2. It's not even that anymore. It's just that I'm so preoccupied with keeping it going.
The trust has been broken.
You know.
Now you're almost like, gee, do I satisfy my wife? Does she really want to be in the bed with me? And that doesn't feel sexy to a man.
It's mental.
Like if I felt
Yeah, and
that.
also it's like now I'm supposed to perform this duty, and why should I be doing all this for her?
Yeah,
Right.
Who's she?
I felt like, you know, if I felt like Beth didn't want to be in the bed with me, then I wouldn't be able to get it up.
Well, it's not that
Right.
I don't. It's not that I don't feel like she wants to be with me. I feel like I have something to prove, and I'm so preoccupied with that
Yeah.
it's working against me. So I'm ready to blow my brains out. I guess I am angry. I don't know. I mean, because I've been through so much, and now when things are going good on the emotional end, physically, I'm fucked up. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't. You know, the funny thing with the penis stuff, like,
What did your wife say when you're in bed and like you can't get it up?
she's very understanding.
She's probably thrilled.
She don't want to fuck anyway.
Yeah, she pretty much is. You know,
You know what, Sal?
I go. You know, I'll give you a rain check. She's like, no, don't worry about the rain check. Everything's fine.
When's the last time you were able to perform sex on your wife and with a full erection?
Believe it or not, last night.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah.
and you came?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah. But it was difficult though. You know, I had to.
You blew your load.
Yeah, but it took a long. I mean, it was a lot of work. I mean, a lot of focus. I feel like Preston. But
Gary is wearing a Sal mask and he has a big sign behind Sal that says, "I'm a homo. I can't get it up."
I can't get it on.
But it's getting better. But you know, any guys out there who are going through this, I mean, I'm sorry.
Sal,
I mean,
you
I
got
feel
beautiful
for people.
children. You have to focus on the children at this point.
I am. I've
They're
been
the
focusing.
positive. You know, you got to raise those fucking kids.
Yeah, Artie, when
So
I'm
wait a
fucking my
second.
wife, I'm not thinking about
So
my
you
kids.
got hard.
know?
Yes, you are.
And you fucked her. So then what's
Yeah.
the problem? You did it.
It was.
He struggled through it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
What happens? Like in the middle, you can say, "Oh, I'm losing focus and it's going away."
In the beginning, the funny thing is, in the beginning with my wife, when I got intimate, I immediately got hard. Now she's got to work on it.
You
for
know what
20
might help you?
minutes.
This is going to sound weird.
What?
Think about that dude, the emotional friend who wants to fuck her so bad.
Well, that's what
that kind of can turn you on.
Get
and
some angry
like, you know what?
sex
I'm
going.
gonna fuck her better than that asshole.
I'll fuck him.
Look how many guys want to fuck my wife. That's what you got to say.
Or think about Richard.
So I kind of feel good because since my dick is useless at home, it kind of serves a purpose here. At least I'm kind of taking care of my kids through my penis with stunts.
Right.
So, well, one way or another, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Your dick is all over everything. Now you're touching your dick, you're touching the mic, you're touching.
No, I washed my hands immediately after.
What? By the way, what happened in your mind? Like, I remember when you first came here, you would never show your penis, and now you can't wait to show it. Like, you're constantly whipping it out.
I don't know. I think it's just the competition of show business. You know what I mean? Staying on top of your game. For real. I know that might sound crazy, but that's true.
In other
He
words,
was holding that in reserve for
Richard
the,
was
major
outdoing you,
leagues.
and you feel competitive with him. And
Not necessarily outdoing me, but I don't know. I felt like I had, you know, we're like Batman and Robin.
Right.
So, you know, he got the balls, I got the penis, he's got the anus, I got the lips, whatever, you know.
Are you being serious right now?
To a certain degree, yeah. I mean, that's what we do, you know.
I think you have problems, Sal, that are so out of this world that we can't even describe. I mean, you're on another level.
Benji, what happened to you that you used to show your penis all the time, and now I noticed you
Yeah,
don't?
why did you put yours away?
I'm embarrassed about being fat.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's not the
That's
penis.
for mostly, but also I like to save it for special moments. Like to me, it would have been really special if you let me jerk off when Giuliani was here. But I don't want to just do it out of context. I want to have some sort of comedic context.
You know what I thought was funny the other day when we were doing the pull-ups, and Benji put his hand on the pull-up bar, and the guys pulled his shorts off.
Right.
That was funny.
Benji still does probably hold the funniest naked moment on the show when he started jerking off next to Houston.
That was great.
I thought Benji naked at the Playboy Mansion was funny. Like, all of a sudden, you look in the pool, and we kept saying, hey, I thought there's supposed to be naked people in the pool. And all next thing you know, he
It's
jumps
Benji.
in naked, and
But
he's
that
swimming
is
around.
a big incentive to get back in. Well, not that I was ever in shape, but to get in shape.
By the way, dude, I got invited, not to even perform, just as a guest to the Midsummer Night's party.
You should
And you
go.
didn't go?
I'm going September
Okay.
22nd. It was
Go.
an invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Go.
Go.
You want to come?
Go.
The guy said I might be able to bring 2 or 3 of my buddies. so-
Uh-oh.
Just go.
Yeah.
Go
That's
yourself.
like a lottery
You don't-
everybody's going to want to
You
win.
don't need buddies.
Because when I went to perform, it was a different thing. They go, no, this is a real sanction.
It's everything
party."
you've ever imagined, but better.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's a dream.
It's,
all right.
It's God's gift to man.
Well, I'm going.
You Hefner, God bless you.
This is why those Arab dudes blow themselves up. They're
Yeah.
thinking
Right.
heaven is going to be like what you're
Yeah.
going to see.
Arab dudes blow themselves up thinking you like they're gonna have the life that you Hefner provides at the Playboy Mansion.
What
Wow.
assholes.
Watch
Can I
this.
come, Artie?
Artie's luck Dana's gonna call tonight and get back with him.
Guess what?
Wait till after September.
Guess what? Call me September 23rd at about 8 a.m. I'll be at a diner on Sunset Boulevard.
Artie, do you still think you love Dana still? Or, I
Yes,
mean-
absolutely.
Wow.
In a lot of ways, sure. I feel I fucked that up. I feel that, you know.
You're going to think of that as the one that got away
Probably.
for a long time, huh?
Can I ask you something, Artie, about like the Subutex and all your personal problems? You know,
Go right ahead, Sal.
was that a big was that a big factor in your breakup? Did Dana get to
Oh,
a point where
definitely.
she said, "Look, the drinking and the pills and your craziness, was that something that really probably put the final straw in it?"
Yeah, sure. What happened was getting high was all I wanted to do. So I wouldn't. You talk about giving somebody attention. She wasn't getting any attention because I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to go see her. I just wanted to get high, get fucked up. It becomes that's it. It's your whole life, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what chick's gonna put up with that shit?
But let
Nobody.
me ask you something, Artie. Did she know what was distracting you the whole time?
No.
Oh.
Hey,
So
Fred,
there's a mystery. So she's
Yeah.
assuming everything.
Yeah.
Fred, when you were fighting with your wife,
Yeah.
and it was really bad, were you having problems
We're
getting
okay
it up?
on medics.
No.
Until we have to
We were
mend
having
it.
problems getting together.
You just couldn't get her in
Fred
the
was like,
same room.
yeah, I'm up.
Yeah.
Right,
Where's she?
I'm up, but she ain't there. Because we weren't even living together at that point.
Riley
Right.
Martin, you're on the air.
Huh?
I said you're on the air.
Sounds like Yucko's horn.
So this is Riley Martin?
Yes.
Okay. Friend of the aliens.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
right.
Why are you people bugging my time with 4 hours of faggotism? You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Can't you come up with another solution?
Well, what do you mean?
Something
We haven't seen
for
anybody in
your
a while. Maybe the
miserable
monsters have stealth suits too.
Vacation taking lives?
What's wrong with what we're doing, Riley?
Oh, geez, baby. Oh, my goodness. There's only about 5% homosexuality on the earth.
Right.
Fighting over.
95% of us don't like to listen to that shit for 4 hours.
Hey, Riley, I don't tell you what to do on your show.
That's right.
Oh, no. Well, except not pay me, you bastard. But still, that's, let's not get into that.
You get paid enough.
Yeah, right. What I'm saying is that, gentlemen, can you not keep your dick in your pants, quit flashing it in the park at little kids and stuff? For
Little
one
kids?
Thank you. I think he's referring to me. I'm the young one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dick.
You know, I got a symbol from
All
Riley
right.
Howard. I got a
Did you?
symbol, and it was, my own symbol, unique, and a very nice letter. And then at the end, it was like, please send $38.50.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, well, I sent
As a
him
donation.
I sent
Did you
him a
send,
check.
you sent him a check?
I did, yeah.
You know what? It's funny. There's a guy in the building.
Artie, may you be blessed.
Right.
May you and your loved ones be blessed.
Thank you, yeah.
All I know is there's some guy that Riley met here when he was up here, and they gave him one of those bracelets or with headbands.
Yeah.
And the guy claims his wife was cured of arthritis or something.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
Are you serious?
I was
We
gonna
got to
bring-
talk to that guy.
Well, yeah, I was going to bring him up here, but it wasn't like it was just kind of matter of fact. He says his wife doesn't have any pain anymore.
Maybe we should talk to his wife.
Riley, I am cherishing the symbol.
Whereupon, if you care that your will shall be done.
So, Riley, you've healed other people.
That's all.
My goodness, my darling. You said that I looked old. However, if you came over here and took your clothes off, I'll give you wet fur.
Yeah.
What fur?
Go, Riley.
Yes, Sal.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Hey, thanks, Riley. And by the way, Riley's radio show is every Thursday night at midnight.
Tuesday night, man.
Oh,
Why
sorry.
do you have Thursday down?
I don't know.
Okay, why don't you fake that off and lead people in the wrong direction, motherfucker?
Thursday nights, the shows that we pay people for. Tuesday's the free night.
Hey, Riley, how's your son, the masseuse, doing?
Oh, he's fine.
Now, I know you need money and stuff. Would it be okay if he came in and massaged me and Richard? I mean, we'd give you some money.
Yeah, he'd come in and massage you. However, don't be grabbing on his penis because it's big, almost as big as mine. You know what I mean?
Good news.
Yeah, right.
How big is your penis, Riley?
Guess there's no turning
My
back.
penis is quite extraordinary, Howard. However, Beth will tell you.
Getting dirty now.
Why you got to do that?
Say, where's the beef?
Let's roll out
Like
then.
that. And
City,
you
let's roll
hunching
out then.
See now,
small
Guess there's no turning
shorty.
back.
You're getting dirty
you know
now.
what? You know what, Riley? If I said that,
If you didn't have some money, you'd be deep six, you motherfucker.
if I said that about your wife, that she knows about my dick, you would fucking be crazy.
Yeah.
If you did a hunch on my wife, she'd come back laughing, motherfucker.
You know, if I said you'll ask your
He's
wife,
doing the dozens.
ask your wife about my cock, you get all freaked out.
Playing a dozen.
Really.
I guarantee you, if I fuck your wife, I'll fuck her better than you do.
If you gotta sit at the tapper, then she come back laughing and say, "Oh my God, how little can it be?" You know what I mean? But I'm not holding it against you, kid.
All right.
You're $1 billion Jew.
All right, Riley.
And, that's commendable.
All right. Well,
Riley, how big is your wife's pussy?
Hey,
Yeah, let's get down to that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it squeezes up tightly.
It's like a pink baseball glove?
It squeezes up tightly.
All right, Riley, listen, we're all going to be listening.
Yeah, right. Look, you said on the air, give Riley a raise. I ain't got no raise.
Well, they don't listen to me.
Well, I guess he was talking about the next contract, Riley.
Next contract.
You are fucking faking, you motherfucker.
Riley, does your wife toss your salad?
Huh?
Does your wife toss your salad? Does she lick your asshole?
No, but your mother did.
Your mama is so black.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Right. You lost that one, you son of a bitch. Hey, look. I hope you people try to get something of decency within yourself and quit doing a straight fag show every day when I'm paying my goddamn money for this fucking dispensation.
I'm with Riley.
Oh, you're right, Riley. A lot of people do agree with you.
You are, son, why don't you go back and the black boy that worked for your daddy suck his dick again, you punk. All I'm saying is...
What is he saying?
I don't know. All
He's
I'm
drunk.
saying is...
Are you drunk?
My father never had a black guy
No,
working for
all I'm saying is that I'm coming out with the Millennium Edition.
A millennium?
I may come back to your doomed ass city for a short period of time to do it again. But Robin,
yes,
don't you buy into all of this mishmash. I thought you loved me.
I do love you.
Yeah, well, okay. Don't kowtow and bojangle to Howard's every wish.
What are you talking about now?
He's a fucking billion-dollar loser. He can't tell if nobody loves him except to get his money with his little dick ass.
Oh, gee.
Wow, aren't we bitter
He
today?
really is. That's all coming out here. I mean, what's...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, Artie
It's
is
all
a
coming
man
out.
of principle.
Artie's a man of principle.
Yes.
Oh, because he sent you the $38.
And a generous man. I have seen him help people. Howard don't help nobody.
You don't know what Howard does.
Well, Howard helped me.
Yeah, Howard helps a lot of people, and you don't know everything.
I wouldn't be able to help anybody if it wasn't for Howard.
I have no record.
Well,
of
he
it.
doesn't have to register his good works with you.
I don't have to go on the air and tell people what I give money to.
Yeah, Riley's saying he has no record, like you have to register with him.
Well,
Riley, you can make the argument. It's
why? Because the people in the sky is not satisfied with his prerogative.
Oh, really?
Riley, you can make the argument that
Riley.
it's actually classier not to tell anyone.
You could get
what
up
you
this
help.
morning. You could get up.
And lied on me, and then said he gonna give me money and give me shit and all this type of stuff, and tried to say that he's my friend when perhaps he is not, and all this.
I'm going to do you a favor.
even though I
Well,
love
I'm
him.
prepared to do a favor for you.
Even though I love him.
I'm
Who's your
prepared.
wait a minute, who's your best friend, Riley?
Artie sent him $38.
No, who's your very best friend?
R2D2 is your best friend?
R2D2 is my best friend.
Artie wants his money back, he can get it.
I don't want my money back.
But who is your best friend?
Jabba
Is my bird whom I hate.
My bird who has a hit on me.
Oh, I can't even
I'm going to
discuss
do you a
this with
favor.
you.
My bird is mine.
I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to release you from your radio
He's
show.
some kind of poet.
That way, you don't have to be tortured anymore. You can go out and get a real job and really wake up every.
Okay, motherfucker, release me.
You're released.
You're released. You're done.
You understand?
You don't have to do it anymore.
Then see where your stock goes, you punk.
Can't get any lower.
Where's it gonna go?
Where's it going to go? Riley, if you don't want to do the radio show,
No,
don't do
because
it. Don't do it.
You are not
It's
a man of
torturing
honor.
you. It's torturing you.
And it's ruining your friendship.
That's
You are
right.
not a man of honor. You said, get this man a raise.
That's right, and they didn't listen to me. I told you.
You are serious.
I'm very serious.
Now he's saying you are serious.
Serious radio.
Oh, I am, huh? You mean you think I own it, huh? I own Sirius? You think I own Sirius? Is that what you're thinking?
Without you, it don't work.
Well, okay, so what do you want from me? I don't own it. I can't sit and tell Mel Karmazin to give you a raise. I have. He doesn't have to listen.
I would help the motherfucker to get this thing he's trying to do through if he were a decent human being.
You could help with the merger?
He can't even help
He can't
himself
get a salary
piss.
here.
No, you don't even know who I know, bitch.
But Riley,
know?
then why are you always begging if you are so powerful?
Riley, Riley, how would you get the merger through if you decided to help Sirius? Maybe if they knew your plan, they would respond with a raise. Would you testify to Congress? What would you do?
I know people.
Who do you know? Who do you know? Do you know Carl?
People that you would never know.
George Bush?
Lou motherfucking Dobbs.
People, yeah, right. People that would
people who smoke 5 cigarettes in a row.
People who used to buy pot.
Who do you think sells them the tobacco?
What did you just say?
Who do you know?
People who would still be rendering Jews into dust if they could, and all this shit. But
You know
they are
some
not
anti-Semites?
my assignation. They are not my loved ones. I look to you motherfuckers to do the right thing.
All right, here's the right thing. You don't have to show up for work here anymore. You can go get a real good job where they're going to pay you a lot of money.
And you'll be appreciated.
And you'll be appreciated. You can go find that job.
So,
now you're free to go find it.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
Are you saying that I'm fired?
No, I'm saying if you don't want to do the job anymore, you don't have to do
What
it.
do you mean? I didn't want to do the job. I didn't say I didn't want to do the job because I need to talk to the people as well. Now you say that you are so chicken shit until you are jealous and petty, little punk, suck-ass motherfucker that is going to say, Riley, you fired. And,
He
look
didn't
like
say
a
you were fired.
Legally, motherfucker.
I didn't say you were fired. I said you don't have to do it anymore if you don't want to. You're free to do whatever you want.
I understand that. But look, listen to me.
We've listened long enough.
No, yeah, no, right.
It's the same. It's the same bullshit.
Okay, you can go back to talking fag fucking, and then that's
Leave your son out of this, sir.
Why are you saying that about Riley's son? Leave his son alone. His son is fine. This is
He's a
between
good
me and
kid,
Riley.
yeah.
Why don't you leave, Sal?
Okay.
It's time for you to go.
Okay,
Riley is right.
Riley's right. It's
you're
too
sucking,
much fag stuff.
You're sucking too much dick.
Go get a hard on.
So Sal, what's up, babe? This endless discussion. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. So it seems like an endless discussion about you and your wife. It's never really gonna die in the studio. Are you concerned about this because your wife's, spoken up and she doesn't know?
Hey, how are you? Am I concerned? Nah. What are you gonna do?
But like your wife's voiced her concern in the past that she doesn't like you airing, your dirty laundry on the air and all that stuff.
Dude,
and
who cares what she thinks? I'm the man of the house. You know what I'm saying?
All right, alpha male style here.
Exactly.
What about some of their advice though? That by
we don't have Howard TV, so I can say that.
No, but like, what about some of the advice of this, the crew? They're saying, the fact that you're getting into those uncomfortable spots and discussing important things that's vital to, a therapy situation.
Therapy works for some people. It didn't work for me. It worked in the beginning to get some stuff out, but overall, if you're gonna make it work, you're gonna make it work. I don't think you need somebody in between. You may need that initially
to get the conversation started.
To get the conversation started, but once you get it started and you want to make it stop, just end the therapy. You know what I mean? Like kickstart the conversation, get the therapy going, find out what's going on your wife's side or your husband's side, and then once you get all the information you need, get rid of the therapy.
From a physical standpoint, though, do you think the whole impotency thing will be something you can overcome? Well, you already have, but I mean,
yeah.
Do you think you have to keep working at it, or do you think?
Yeah, I think I have to.
No,
it's not easy.
Now there were claims that possibly you're gay, due to all the things you do with Richard.
I'm gay. There you go. I figure if I just say I'm gay, people stop asking. Right, sir? What's up, bro? Yeah, that
has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with your getting.
Do you think I'm gay?
No, actually, I don't at all.
Well, that's it.
I just think you're comfortable with your body.
I think it's kind of insulting to gays. Like people keep asking, like, "Are you gay? Are you gay?" Like that's almost like a bad thing, Who cares?
So what if you were?
It's right, exactly. That's like saying to somebody, are you an Arab? Are you Muslim? Are you like, what are you trying to imply? Let the gay be gay and let me do my stunts. You know what I mean? Well, it's all one big happy family.
I hear you, Sal.
I hear you too. Now hear this. Shut that fucking camera off. Done with this stupid interview.
Jeez, why don't you if you're men, be men. If you're fags, come out.
Right.
Jesus Christ. You are wasting my valuable fucking time, and I'm burning up electrons listening to your stupid ass.
Electrons.
Look, Riley.
You know what I mean?
I care for you.
Okay, Howard. Since the first time I met you, I did love you. Always. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you say, you threw my symbols away, which is a blasphemy.
I threw them right in the garbage. He drew these cartoons, and I threw them right in the garbage.
Tell Artie to throw his away and get his money back.
Oh, I framed mine. I'm holding mine in great honor. Yes, and esteem in my office.
I threw mine out.
Right. Hey, man. And there may be many blessings to you.
Hey, Riley, guess what? Riley. Hey, Riley, I'm really scared because when the aliens come, I threw out my symbols. I won't get to go on the mothership.
Well, no. There's a place that you may be destined for. It's called Auschwitz.
You see, everything's got to get anti-Semitic with you.
Yeah, well, all I'm saying is,
You're
how
fucked
come
up,
you
man.
have gotten so big until you cannot treat a decent man right?
Your symbol is right next to my poster of Brian Trottier.
Hey, Riley. I hope you'll send me another symbol because I'm afraid I won't get on the mothership.
No, you can't get another one.
Please.
The first one's away.
Please.
It means that you do not have any.
When exactly can we turn these in for
Riley,
a seat?
please. I don't want to be left on Earth when
I
the
would
mothership
like to know
comes.
when I'll be able to use my.
Matter of fact, fuck the end of the world. Can I get on the mothership now?
If you were bona fide, they couldn't get the symbol from you with a fucking gun. So you're telling me you threw it away?
I threw it. I threw it out the second you gave it to me. As soon as you left the studio, I put it right in the garbage.
Did Beth throw hers away?
I would probably guess so. Yes.
Howard threw hers out for her.
You're gonna lie on her?
I did a favor and threw it out for her.
You're gonna lie on her?
I'm not lying on her.
You a piteous wretch of a man.
Well, hey, think what you want. All I know is
what you say.
I threw it out. I threw those symbols right out.
There's some love in the world, and you motherfuckers
I threw them out.
think that you got enough money.
I think they're bullshit.
Immutable.
When will I be able to use it? I've been hanging on and hanging on. I still haven't found this.
Robin has
mothership.
hers.
Oh, Robin threw hers out too. She said to me, "What is this bullshit?"
What if I shut your fucking city down again?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do it right now.
Give me 12 hours.
Okay.
12 hours? 7 p.m.
All right, listen to me, Riley. We're going to listen to you tonight at midnight. That's the point. Riley is on the air. He will spin his story of
Well, he
alien
has
woe.
a message. He has a
He
message.
has a message for all of the world to hear. It's a very important message.
Look, I love you motherfuckers.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you're an angry, bitter man who's got a, you're a reasonable guy, but you never really put anything together. You blame everyone for all your misfortune.
Look,
You know nothing on the mothership, apparently.
broke. I'm asking you to make sure I don't starve.
Listen, brother, I told you. I've said to them, I gotta go. Hey, listen, Riley, tonight it's midnight.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen in, okay?
Hey, take care.
Take care.
God bless you all.
God bless you, Riley.
Sounds like he'll be in rare form tonight.
Yeah.
Right. Robin, come over here. I'll squeeze up on you, and I guarantee you will get foot fur.
Right. Well, Riley's all man. I'll give you that.
Yes, he is.
You can't take that away from him. All right, Riley, thank you. All right, there he is, the great Riley Martin. He is a radio host here at Howard 101 at midnight. If you listen, you will learn something.
Injecting impact.
You're a dumb.
Check you in. He said I can't check you in, and I just looked now.
I give you the passport. Write down the information so I never have to give it to you again.
You're coddling him.
No,
because,
I'm not.
Because
I'm going to tell you
he's
something.
Whatever.
All right, hear my point of view.
You've really fucked up, man.
No, I hate you, Ted.
Yeah.
No, Artie, no. Artie, stop it. Artie, stop it. Stop it.
Teddy.
Stop it.
Whoa.
Artie, no. Artie.
Go! Now! Close the door! Jesus Christ, you people are crazy!
Steal my fucking money, Ted.
Oh, wait a second.
Wow.
I keep telling. Why are you bringing this up?
I
Look
don't
at
know
this. They can't hold
No,
on.
Artie, stop it.
Jesus Christ!
Oh.
What the F is going on here?
I'm not a good person, Howard.
Yes, you are. Stop
not.
with that.
I gotta leave, buddy.
All right.
I gotta leave.
Okay. Fair enough.
I love you.
I love you too. I love you. Why don't you just go take it easy in the green room and then we'll talk, okay?
Was that all?
You don't have to leave.
You should go home right now.
That was awful. That was just awful. And
Time to
good morning
fight.
to you. Colton, you're on the air. Good morning. We're back live.
Hello?
Yes, Colton. What can I do for you?
Yo, I just want to make sure Artie's back.
You want to know if Artie's back? Well, I'll reveal that later in the show.
I've been dying all week.
I'm going to tell you everything that is going on. Greg, you're on the air in West Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah, Rob, same thing as that guy. I want to know if he quit or what.
All right, let's go to...
Well, I'm here.
Robin is here for those of you who were worried she'd quit too. Matt, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard, what's up? I love you, man, but I listened to that fight a couple times on YouTube, and I mean, Teddy kept asking to leave, and you just kept prodding and prodding.
Oh, it's your fault.
So it is my fault. Artie did accuse
I
me.
knew it was somebody's fault.
Yeah, I knew it was my fault. Somehow it's always my fault. Let's go to...
If you're in the room.
Let's go to Mark. Mark in Chicago. Go ahead.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, if he is back, why does he get second? Chance after chance after chance. I mean, look at this guy's track record. He fought with Dice, Levy, Richard Sal, High Pitch Mike, you.
Well, I'm not going to tell you
How many chances does this guy get? I mean, there is a double standard here.
I'm not going to tell you.
It sounds like a
triple standard. I'm not going to tell you if Artie is back or not, but I did have a conversation with him during the week where he told me he's not a violent guy.
Oh, you're kidding.
That's right.
Well,
so
how is he having all these fights?
I don't know why he's having all these fights. Let's go to Kevin.
For a non-violent guy.
Kevin in Brooksbury, Pennsylvania. Yes, Kevin.
How we doing?
All right.
Artie is back. I know he's back.
How do you know that?
I know.
How would you know?
It's a psychic on that.
I heard the laugh.
You heard his laugh. How do you know it wasn't Fred playing a sound effect?
No, I was him. Artie always laughs on the punchline there, and I heard him. He's back.
How do you know it wasn't Fred playing a sound effect?
Nope, it's not Fred.
Fred, play Artie's laugh to prove that you were doing that.
Fred is good.
There he goes again. He just played it again.
There you go.
There it. Play it again. See?
No, he's back. Please, God, I hope he's back. Hey, guys, it's the first time I ever got through. I love the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
I got satellite just for you guys. This is the second time I've come out to my car at 6 in the morning. The other time was 1906.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
All right, Kevin, thank you. I will reveal whether Artie is back in just a moment. Vaughn, go ahead. You're on the air in San Jose, California.
Yeah, hey, Howard, I know Artie's there, and I'm going to say this. Artie, you need to make a proper commitment to the show. Enough of this goddamn stand-up. It's getting in the way of the show. You use the show to sell out your stand-up and play bigger venues, but then doing those shows interferes with the show.
There's that laugh again. Is that real or is it Memorex? Let's go to Brian. Brian in East Setauket, New York.
Hey, now.
Hey, now.
I want to know if we'll ever get to see that fight on Howard TV between him and Teddy.
All right, so here I will reveal to you now. Fred, give me a drum roll because we left you with a cliffhanger on Thursday of a week ago. Artie, if you are here, are you back on the show? There's that laugh.
Wow. Yes, I am here.
You are here. You are sitting here, which is a miracle, actually, because I will tell you, I never thought...
It is a miracle.
I never thought you would be back on the show. And you're clean-shaven, and you're here, and I'm happy about it.
Yes, thank you.
Now, Benji...
So am I.
Benji, when you were last with Artie, you were restraining him, weren't you?
Sorry about that.
Benji actually held you. Were you the main guy who held Artie back?
Who was holding Artie back?
Teddy said Ronnie saved his life.
But Ronnie came in and got Teddy out, I think. That's how it went.
But Benji gave you the first tackle, but you got past him.
I think I'm just trying to slow down a little.
Well, Benji was the first obstacle.
What, did you throw a body block or something?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know exactly.
You did get past Benji. Benji slowed you down somewhat.
Yeah, Benji is, he's like that linebacker who Earl Campbell crushed that one time.
Right, he sacrificed himself.
Benji was already hard to restrain.
Well, I think I was more, like I said, I wasn't like a restraint as much as just trying to slow down. And
you put your belly in his way.
Yeah.
We had contact. Our bellies hit, which I'm surprised there wasn't a fucking earthquake.
Artie, before I play the massive amount of news reports about this and go into exactly what happened and talk about this, are you wanting to make a statement of some kind?
Do you have anything to say?
Do you have any?
Listen, I was waiting for you guys to ask. That was wonderful.
All right, I'll go into the story. Before you make your statement, why don't I go into
Well, I mean, but the only thing I want to say is that, of course, I'm sorry. Very, very sorry. It's all my fault. It wasn't anybody else's fault. It wasn't Teddy's fault. It was my fault. And this week, I have been overwhelmed by how nice people have treated me. I really feel like I'm part of a family. Howard called me in the middle of what was probably a stressful week for him doing stuff, and I really... you know, there wasn't an ounce of anger or anything but concern for me. Other people here reacted similar, in a similar way. Tim Sabian, Mel Karmazin, Don Buchwald. I got calls from everybody on the staff here, and I really feel like I am part of a family, and that is such a touching thing. And I was blown away by how nice everybody was. And Howard's call meant a lot to me. I apologize to him as many times as I could, and I want to apologize to the fans.
It was only until now that you found out you were a member of a family?
Well, you know, it's like...
Sometimes it takes a crisis, right?
No. I realize that. I realize that, but this was really something else. I mean, I fucked up in a major way. I've been fucking up my whole life, and you know, that's it really. What I want, I'm happy to be back. The show is the most important thing in my life. It's the only thing that's probably keeping me alive, quite frankly. And you know, Doug Goodstein's got the pace. Benji called. Everybody called. It was so nice, and I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it, and I'd like to think, if God forbid, the tables were turned, I would do the same for you guys, because I felt amazing. I mean, other people like David Spade called me, and Norm and Jimmy Kimmel, they were offering me to stay at their house in California for a week and just get my head straight.
What would that do for you?
I don't know, but I
Staying
said
at David Spade's house might not be the best thing.
well, I said to Jimmy Kimmel, who really was concerned and offered me, I said, if I stay at your house, we're not going to be friends anymore. I guarantee it'll be my fault. But you know, so it was just amazing. And the big thing, though,
Maybe you want to stay at David's house.
Well, what I want to say is Teddy, it's not his fault. He's a good kid. He's not stealing money from me. We have money issues.
That was something you said in the heat of the...
Yes, that was in the heat of the moment. And,
All right, what do you
kid
think
is not a thief. And
what do you think happened? You just what happened? Was it just a bad day for you? As you explained
Were
to me
you
on the
having a
phone.
bad day? You were supposed to be going to Amsterdam that night.
I was surprised, actually, and maybe it was partially my fault in the sense that I even said to Artie, I don't know, I was just, you know, we've all...
How could it be your fault if you don't know what Artie's going
I
through?
know, but so many people accused me of instigating this, and I said, well, we always all fight on the air.
as
and bring
the host of the show, you're probably, and the most famous guy, they're probably going to go for the juiciest thing. And the other thing is, that's the other thing I want to say. In no way do I feel it's Howard's fault at all. I said a lot of things when I was mad. I know you don't give a shit about stuff like this, but it's the one time I actually used my publicist for something important. I got back from Amsterdam, and I saw that Page Six had run a couple of stories 2 days in a row, and Daily News, and the main part they said, Lang blamed Howard for the fight, and I felt terrible. So my publicist was able to get something in Russian Malloy that basically said the truth, that I feel I betrayed Howard. He gave me a chance. I have a bad track record. I promised him it wouldn't happen again, and if anything, Howard was nice to me to give me another shot. I love him, and I'm sorry. And they got that in the paper, but
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
The Russian Malloy took care of me, and I appreciate that. And that's how I really feel, you know. And
have you spoken with Teddy since the incident?
Yes, I called Teddy.
Yeah.
And I basically said what I said here. I said, look, Teddy, obviously, and he knows from touring with me for a year and a half. He knows I'm nuts, and I said I don't have any excuse. I'm sorry, it's not your fault. Please, under no circumstances, quit your job. It's serious. I would feel terrible about that. I'm the one who should leave if anybody.
He was thinking of quitting his job.
Well,
Yes,
he said that on the air.
Well, afterwards, after the incident on the air, I spoke with Teddy, and Teddy was feeling so horrible. He said, if I'm responsible for Artie not being with the show, I don't want to be here anymore. I'll leave. And I said, Teddy, no. You did nothing wrong. You are absolutely welcome here. You're thinking backwards here. Artie, Artie...
And he did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong. I said, this is something that has to be worked out between you and Artie, I suppose, or not, but you did not do anything wrong.
and there's no way I would ever stand for you leaving here. So that was
Well, that was nice.
off the
I'm sure he
table,
needed
yeah.
that from you too.
Yeah.
That was nice. of
He
you.
was shook up.
I finally got a chance to hear the West Coast feed after a few hours. I talked to some people. I talked to a shrink that I deal with sometimes, and you know, I heard Robin say, obviously, you know, there's the AJ Benza thing, and there is a double standard, and Gary came in and said, this was funny. I thought the example, Gary.
AJ wrote me and said, "Hey, can I be interviewed?" You know.
Did he really?
He's
Yeah,
just
he
gonna
goes-
come back now.
Yeah, he goes, I should be given a second chance too.
Well, then AJ actually made contact with the guy.
Well, I said to him, yeah, I guess you can. You definitely call in because, you know, it would be
And all doors are open, apparently. right now.
evidently.
Yeah, well, and you know, Robin's point was well taken. I thought she was right there. And Gary came in. The example he used was, look, what if one day Joan Rivers says something and he starts beating her up?
That's right.
I said, I'd like to think. I called Gary and I said, Gary, your point was well taken, but I'd like to think there's something inside of me that would not beat up Joan Rivers.
Well, in all seriousness,
you know.
I'd like to see that. That'd be funny.
well, let me tell you about my side of this thing, because what happened with me.
Right.
So, of course, Artie and Teddy got into their thing on the air, and it was best that Artie leave the studio. You were in an agitated state. I never saw you so crazed. You know, your eyes were popping out of your head.
Did you see
And-
Jason Reitman when you left?
No.
Oh, Jason did see you.
He did?
He tried to talk to
He
you,
tried to talk to you. And like you were so, he had you in mind for the lead in his next movie. But
Howard, I got to tell you, just the last thing before you talk. From the time that I said I resign, and you know, I didn't know what to do, and I was more. That was more emotion than I've ever had in my life. I was so emotional.
Right.
And like even just like trying to give you a hug or something, and then leave, and really tell you that I love you, and you know, it's just. I fucked up a lot in my life where I end relationships badly. I always told you guys.
Right, you always do that. That's what I
I
thought this
said
was.
you wrote the script. You said it would happen exactly as it did.
Yeah, I mean, if I could tell you, I mean, I wasn't obviously nearly as famous back then, but if I had the notoriety I have now when I left Mad TV, forget it. That would have that was even worse. I took a swing at a cop, but after I took a swing at a cop with an 8-ball of cocaine on me at 11 a.m. in Hollywood. But from the time I sort of hugged you there and went down into the elevator, I was almost in like an emotional blackout. I really was so crazed.
Wow.
And I felt so horrible that I had once again fucked up my life, or at least put myself out there, you know, on the air, places. I hailed a cab immediately, and there's 2 cops who walk a beat around here, and they're great guys. They're fans of the show, and they were in their squad car, and they followed the cab that I got into.
Thank God.
And they pulled up. Again, everybody was so nice. They pulled up at a light and said, "You all right, man? You need us to do anything for you? You know, we love you." And I was like, "Nah, you know, I'm an asshole."
You didn't go to the Brooklyn Diner?
No, thank you.
that was
we
wrong.
Heard you were we heard you were spotted eating ferociously in the Brooklyn Diner, and that I'm not kidding you. You're kidding? He went down and ate.
Really? That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Eating ferociously was accurate, but it wasn't the Brooklyn Diner. There's a diner in Hoboken on Sinatra Drive called the Turning Stone. That's awesome.
Did you go there?
I did.
You did. Oh, so you were in
We're
a
in a
diner.
diner.
Yes, I
we
was
had a
in a-
report that you were in a diner.
I mean, look, someone could have just taken, went with the odds and said I'm in a diner. And got it right.
After an explosion like that, which was very emotional. I mean, you're talking about your job. You're talking about throwing everything away.
Everything.
What did you eat? I gotta know.
Yeah, what
at
do
the
you
diner.
eat at a time like that?
I had a mozzarella omelet with sausage and
Most people might not be hungry after something like that would happen.
It's the epitome of comfort food.
You had been eating all morning. I'm surprised you had an appetite.
Now, what kind of bread do you have with that?
Getting by Benji works up an appetite.
You got by 4
What do you
guys.
have with that?
What kind of bread?
Yeah.
Rye toast with butter and jam.
Oh.
Did you have any drink with it? Or?
I had 2 chocolate milks. I love diner chocolate milk. I love it. It's so great.
It's with the syrup and everything.
Yeah, they make this with Jay's syrup. And I love that milk thing where it comes out like ice cold and I had
And did
coffee.
you have a dessert?
I had no, it's
Some
breakfast.
pie?
Yeah, you don't eat
You don't eat
dessert
pie?
with bread.
I had, but I did go to Starbucks and get a chocolate chunk cookie that I heated up.
Oh, you did. All right. That's
And plus, I got to get on a plane now. Like, be in the bathroom for 8 hours on the way.
A lot of people were surprised you even went on the trip to Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was speculation afterward. Is he going to Amsterdam?
And I had gotten a report. Gary was giving me updates whenever he heard him. He said Artie was spotted in the airport. Teddy is there too, but they're not talking a lot.
Well, I got to the gate, and the trip to Amsterdam took on a whole different life for me. It became like, well, shit. Thank God we have a week off, and I'll be out of town. And
Like you really needed to get out of town.
Yeah, out of the country, and it was a beautiful hotel. This amazing service there.
I had advised Teddy
Yeah.
not to go if you were going because I was afraid for him.
Yeah, look, it's like you're totally justified in thinking that, but I feel so bad that someone actually thinks that I'm that much of an asshole. But I guess there's examples that go against me thinking that.
Right. So you went
but
to
I saw
Amsterdam.
Teddy. What happened was, look, I saw Teddy and I made eye contact with him as we were getting on the plane. We were sitting far away from each other on the plane, and I said, look, it's too soon to start a conversation. I didn't want it to go, you know what I mean? Like, I had to think more, and I didn't want him to think I wasn't talking to him because I was still mad, but I had to think about what I'm going to say because I don't want it to be the wrong thing and start something, God forbid, in the airport. So
In the plane.
I don't know. To me, I don't know what's going on with our stock, but to me, I think everyone has Sirius that I've ever met.
Yes, I
People
thought,
at the
my
airport.
God, everyone knows.
Airline attendants, they had all heard it. Like that, they all knew what was going on.
Right.
I guess maybe the computer or something, but and
There was no hiding.
I got to Amsterdam. And I pull up to my hotel, and there's two guys, they're Americans. I don't know if they live there or not. I'm walking to the hotel, and they go, dude, you fucked up this morning, man. This is in Holland. Like, they stream on the computer. I mentioned that to Howard, and you were like, maybe they stream on the computer. And then, but I went in, and I just relaxed. I didn't see Teddy the whole trip. I did get together with the guys to walk around, but
I heard
With
you were.
all of the guys or just some of the
well,
guys?
there was 20 guys, so they were all spread out. I just happened to. I took a boat to their hotel, a gondola. And,
Did you have dinner with Teddy that night?
No, I never got a chance to have a meal with the guys. We walked around for a few days, and I just stayed to myself. It really was cathartic walking around. It's such a beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city, but what do you
so
do
laid
there
back.
alone?
Well, Art, what about the whores and the drugs?
I did. I went.
Yeah, I mean, did you imbibe in whores and drugs?
I didn't do any of the H's that I love, heroin or hookers.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not going to do heroin. I mean, heroin would have been so.
No, but I meant the hookers.
Well, I took a boat tour, and we went to the red light district. And apparently, if you pay a boat guy $40,000, he'll do whatever you want. The dollar really sucks. I mean, it's insane. They go, this is such
afford a hooker?
Yeah, such euros.
In fact, there are a lot of places in America now that are taking euros.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes,
You're kidding me.
because they're stronger than the dollar.
I brought some back with me, so we stopped. We docked the boat at the Red Lake District, and I walked around. And Phelan had the same observation. The culture over there, they're in like these whores are in like little
windows,
lockers in windows, and they're just. And we were there. My
Are
guy.
they hot? I heard they're not
I didn't
that
get a
hot.
hot batch.
Yeah.
Because it was the time of day. He said, like, look, at night, about 9 o'clock on a Friday, you're going to see some hot chicks. But he goes,
You go during the day, it's frightening.
this was like a Wednesday afternoon. Some of them were old.
Yeah.
They looked like grandmothers with their tits hanging to their knees.
I
and-
told you, we walked out. There was a woman, must have been 87.
Really?
Yeah. And she
87.
had one leg in one corner of the window and one leg in the other corner of the window.
Well, that's inviting. But, but I was thinking to myself about these old whores. The one thing that tempted me was they probably give an amazing blowjob, I would assume.
Well, they've got to try very, very hard.
They must
do.
really
They
put
really
out.
do.
Yeah.
Plus, it's their profession. So I walked around the Red Lake District. I didn't partake in anything. But when I met the guys one day, we walked into a cafe. Jason and his brothers, who were really nice guys, Phelan and Shuley, and I smoked a joint. And I got to tell you, man, I didn't notice how strong it was, but it was such a smooth, like, it was fantastic weed, I guess, because 3 puffs I was feeling all right. But you know, like in the Jimi Hendrix song, "Are You Experienced?" Like, not necessarily stoned, but beautiful.
You had that.
I was beautiful.
Wow.
I was beautiful, and I like all my
You
troubles.
didn't get
were-
paranoid on the pod?
No,
You
and I had the same reaction you. I've had my worst experience with drugs. The hard drugs I've done was with weed.
Right,
In
me too.
L.A., like
Right.
the crazy chronic shit or whatever the fuck it is. But I smoked this joint. We shot some pool, and look, Amsterdam. They're not violent people, and I'm sure, legalizing weed is the right thing, but there are a lot of people who sit in these cafes who are about 42 who look like they might have had a shot, and they're just staring into space. Like, you saw guys who were like going, God, I came here to be an author or a singer, and it just didn't work out,
Right, there's a lot of, looks like lazy sort of people hanging around.
It's over for them.
Yeah.
And at that point, I related to them.
Now, while you were in
So
Amsterdam...
I walked back to my hotel, which was a little bit of a walk, and you're going to love this, because this was my favorite part about the culture over there. These guys will attest. I was beautiful. I left. I said, I'll try to call you guys later. I walked back to my hotel along one of the canals, and I found a place for pancakes. It is the capital of the world for pancakes.
What makes these pancakes so great?
The guys have all had them. They're big, they're light, they're fluffy, they're unbelievable. They're
You're talking about like these big giant pancakes, and they're loaded up with
like a whole plate full of one pancake.
Right, but in New York, it's almost like they're coming off an assembly line. These are like there's a fat old Dutch woman making you this. It's rich with butter and syrup. So
are there apples in it? Is there chocolate?
You can get all that stuff. You
What
can get
did you
everything on
have?
the side. I had butter.
Just butter.
butter.
Extra butter.
Yeah.
Butter pancakes.
Butter pancakes, and and a couple of eggs, and the eggs over there are yellow.
Orange almost. Yeah.
So I sat down, and if you can imagine how you would think after smoking weed like that and walking a little bit.
How much weed did you smoke?
An
Did you,
enormous pancake.
did you take one hit or many
I
hits?
took I shared a joint with a couple of the guys. I probably took about 6 or 7 hits total.
Wow. So you were flying.
Yeah, I felt really good, and I walked it off a little bit, but God, it was just like, it was fantastic.
Did you hear any music? Did you have your iPod with you? Did you?
I had my iPod, and I was listening to that.
And you're by yourself eating pancakes.
I went by myself. I got an enormous pancake, Howard. I had like syrup was dripping, and I was so happy. And these people know this, look, because everybody's a pothead. Right. It was I'm such a typical arrogant American. I didn't try to slow down my accent. Like, you give me a pancake and a couple, and you expect me to. I talk like a fucking Tony Soprano. And these guys all, they adjust for us.
And you only have one pancake? They're so large?
I had 2 of them.
You had 2?
Oh, my
Both
God.
uncovered, but there's probably the equivalent of 7.
Both pancakes covered the entire plate.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were so light and fluffy and just wonderful.
And just 2 eggs.
Yeah, it was probably, you know what, this is pathetic, but it's probably the best afternoon I've ever had in my life.
Is that right?
It might have been, except I didn't get laid, but
Big deal.
I then walked off the pancake, which I fooled myself. Well, I'll walk it off, I'll be fine.
How far did you walk to Denmark?
Well, yeah, I should have walked home, but I got back to my hotel and I just laid down, and oh my God, the feeling lasted for so long. Then I fell asleep, and I was supposed to meet the guys for dinner because I said, Jason, I'll buy you dinner. And I woke up, it was 1 a.m. I missed dinner.
No alarm clock in that room.
No. But I didn't, Teddy, and it was just by sheer chance. I didn't see Teddy. They splintered off the group.
Have you and Teddy spoken since this incident?
So when I got back after I spoke with you.
Well, let me just say that Artie, I had the worst week of vacation. I'm so happy to be back at work, I can't even tell you. After the show on Thursday, I knew I was coming down with a cold Wednesday. I had a bit of a sore throat.
You told me that. I felt so bad for you. Howard, the first thing he said on the phone is, I'm sick, and I'm like, you're sick on vacation.
Yeah, I talked to him and found out he was sick, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. So Thursday, we did the show. You had your whatever that was. And then I'm dealing with that at work, and let me apologize to the audience if people were offended that I take responsibility for this. I killed the replay of the show, killed the Howard TV presentation of what happened. Now, I've been widely criticized on every fan network and all of this, and
well, at the time we didn't know exactly what was going on.
Well, again, I'll take the hit for that, guys, because it was a favor to me.
No, well, listen, I hadn't spoken with Artie yet, but Artie left here. Honestly, Artie, and all jokes aside, and I'm really thrilled you're here, and you know that.
But I was really scared for Artie. I was scared for Teddy. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. In fact, I even heard some people say, "Oh, that we staged all of what happened, and it's like a wrestling thing. We made a cliffhanger." And
The
nothing.
gay wrestler guy that we know, who's a great guy, called me and said, "This is an April Fool's joke, right?" And he wasn't kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Well, then you're the greatest actor on the planet. Because I'll tell you,
fooled all of us.
I'll tell you what, and this is what happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened because I was pretty criticized, and I jumped the shark and all this, and I'll accept all of that. Maybe I have. But, here's the thing. I wanted to do the right thing in this situation.
And we weren't going to be back the next day.
When Artie left here and hugged me, I'm sitting here on the air, and part of me is going, maybe I better go follow this guy, because I honestly, and I know now it seems crazy to say this, I really didn't know if Artie was going to go out and fucking kill himself, kill someone. I didn't know what was Artie's mental condition. I hadn't had a chance to really speak to Artie. This all went down on the air. I'd kind of felt like, wow, you said, hey, I can't control myself. And I said, well, then you got to leave. And the whole thing was really, I would rather not have had it happen on the air. But when it happened, directly after the show, everyone said, well, what do we do about the replays? And what do we do about Howard TV? And I said, you know what? I don't know what